Sunshine, I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors, The Chris and Amy Show.
Check it out. St. Louis, Mound City, we are going to have a great day today.
On 104.1 FM.
Let's take it from the top.
KMOX.
Good morning, y'all. It is the Chris and Amy Show today featuring John Hancock. We're happy you're with us, and we hope that you'll stick around for the next few hours until 12 o'clock, and then it is the Gas House Gang. That is at 12. It'll be Bernie Miklasz, Tom Ackerman, and me. We'll talk Cardinals baseball, of course. Lots of other things to get into. The Billikens have a big game tonight, which we will mention in just a moment. Please reach out to the show if you like. 314-436-7900. You can listen to us on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, download it to your phone. And from the app, you can leave us voice messages. It's really easy to do. If you want to watch the show, you can do that too on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, what if the Battlehawks and City SC played in the same stadium? That apparently has been on the table. Is there anything real happening there? But the UFL did explore a possible move to Energizer Park.
And tonight, President Donald Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address in his second term, and we'll talk about what to expect.
Billikens will play at Dayton tonight. This is a big game for the Billikens. They are on the road, a tough opponent. We'll have the broadcast here starting at 5:45. That's on 104.1. Later on this evening, actually a little before that, on 11:20 at 4:55, Cardinals spring training baseball against the Nationals. So we have sports all over, and you didn't think that we could put on two different broadcasts on our signals, but we can. We can. Billikens on 104.1 tonight, and then prior to that, the Cardinals are on 11:20. John,
sweet. So, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm encouraged so far early in spring training.
You are?
I am.
I mean, it's very early. It's only 3 games in.
Our starters have gone 6 innings. They've given up 2 runs, solo homers both. And strikeout numbers have been pretty good. Michael McGreevy yesterday, I thought his velocity was a little titch low. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Always keep an eye on that, because that's, if it becomes a thing,
it's a thing.
You know, then it's a thing.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned right off the top, we got a lot to get into today, by the way, and we will talk to Dave Simons. We'll talk about the Trump tariffs, which have been struck down by the Supreme Court, but he still says he's going to implement some.
Yep.
So we'll talk about that, what it means for you. Sam Dykstra covers minor league baseball, and we'll talk Cardinals prospects with him. Andrew Egger on the show. We got a lot coming up today.
A lot.
But I mentioned that right off the top, KMOV had a report that came out later yesterday that the UFL, which is the league the Battlehawks play in, have been exploring the possibility of Battlehawks games moving to Energizer Park. And it was confirmed that both sides had some discussions, and this must have taken place weeks ago, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, at least not anytime soon. But the idea is super intriguing. Now, I would not say it's completely off the table forever. Maybe for right now, maybe for next season. Of course, they're going to play at the Dome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what these games will.
The dump.
Yeah, the dump. That's not very nice.
Well, it's not very nice, but it's not a great.
The building's
venue.
not very nice anymore. It's actually it is. It could be better.
It's a dump.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's fallen behind. Any other football stadium is light years ahead of the Dome in America.
Didn't the
right
Chargers play a season or two in a soccer stadium before they moved into SoFi?
I don't recall, but
I think they did.
Maybe they did.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm often wrong, but never in doubt.
Well, I usually trust you.
Yeah.
And I will trust you on this, that they did play in a soccer stadium. But if you think about the Battlehawks, who can draw 40,000 people, and they've been able to do that, they could easily fill a 22,000 seat stadium.
Yeah.
So I think the visual would be awesome.
It would. And that's a great venue, that Energizer Park. I mean, the noise, and the Dome is just so sterile And you put 25,000 people in the dome and it, doesn't have the oomph that you want.
Now, I like going to games. I think Battlehawks games are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's the crowd. It's not the building, because the building is not
right.
It doesn't look good.
Right.
I mean, let's just be honest. It does not. It's not welcoming. When you go in, it feels like and I'm sorry to say this. I don't mean to crap on the dome, but when you go into the dome for a game, it almost feels like, are we supposed to be in here?
Yeah.
Like, should this place be open right now?
Is it open? Right.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't look dangerous or anything. It just doesn't look new. They did put the new turf in, which helps a lot, because that old turf they were using from the Rams days was brutal. But I mean, I think the people make the atmosphere.
They do.
It's so much fun going to a game there, and being in a dome it's immediately louder because the sound is all kind of enclosed. But it would be something playing in that stadium.
It would, but I don't think it's going to happen. Football cleats on that grass. I mean,
that's the problem.
Yep. And I think that, these soccer guys, they like to have their nice little grass out there.
It's got to be pretty clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. A football stadium, those guys have been used to playing on bad turf. Hell, I'm a fan of a football team that for years, their stadium is known for having some of the worst turf in the league, and they play on it. Soldier Field has terrible turf.
Well,
it's gotten better in the last few years, but for some reason, for like 15 to 20 years, it was a struggle just to keep it right.
Huh. Yeah, and I feel like the Eagles' turf is not very good either. The Bears are going to solve that problem, though, by moving to Indiana.
Well, that's very possible.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think they still end up in Arlington Heights, but
we'll see.
Indiana, the location is right on the border of
Hammond, Indiana.
It's actually closer to Chicago than Arlington Heights is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But for a football team to play where a soccer team does, I think a soccer pitch needs to be clean. It needs to feel
I don't
pristine.
think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Not for a league like the UFL. I mean, God bless them, but
John, how about this?
Yes.
Speaking of the UFL, we did get a press release today.
We did
about new rules.
They've got new rules.
They've got some new rules in the UFL.
Do tell.
And this one is my favorite. There will now be 4-point field goals.
Whoa!
For any field goal kick from 60 yards or deeper.
I like
It'll
it.
be worth 4 points.
It should be. That's a very good rule. I like that.
You remember the show Rock and Jock? They'd have like Rock and Jock basketball and Rock and Jock softball on MTV.
Okay.
And there would be on the basketball court, there'd be these circles that it'd be like a 10-pointer. If you shot from this one very small circle on the court and it went in, it was 10 points.
That's cool.
They should do that with football.
I like it.
They'll do the 1 foot inbounds.
Okay. Yeah.
For a reception, just like college. There will be penalties. The penalties in the red zone will be half the distance, whatever. They are getting rid of, in UFL, they're getting rid of the tush push.
Oh, now that's something that's been discussed extensively
in the NFL.
In the NFL, yeah.
They're getting rid of it altogether. It's gone.
So can you push a running back though? Like if you hand off to the running back and he's going through the line, can you get behind him and push?
It doesn't say anything about the running back. It just says the quarterback taking the snap immediately diving
because
forward.
on the defensive side of the ball, you can't use leverage from another player to like jump higher. That's illegal.
That's been illegal, right?
And so you could make it a consistent rule and say you can't use leverage to push an offensive player that's the ball possessor.
Here's another one. There will no longer be punting allowed from inside the 50.
Oh.
So if you have moved the ball to the opponent's 49 and you're 4th down, you have to go for it.
Wow.
Even if you get a penalty and you get pushed back past the 50, because you can't be like, oh, we're going to do delay a game,
right?
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Nope, they're going to make you go for it.
Wow.
I love that one.
Wow.
So there's going to be some slight alterations to the kickoff rules, so nothing of like huge note, but those are the big ones.
Those are big. And, they've got some of the rules they have where if you're trailing by a certain number of points at the end, you score a touchdown, you get the ball again, or you could take it from your own 20 or something and try and score. You know that rule?
I do not.
Yeah, that's a rule.
Is that UFL?
It is.
Oh, I know that they have the 1 point, 2 point, 3 point conversions.
Right.
They're still doing that. So anyway, there are going to be some new UFL changes, but it will not be they will not be playing at Energizer Park.
They will not. No. My favorite is when they have a booth review. They actually take you to the booth.
Love it.
Yes, that is so awesome.
I really wish they would do that in the NFL.
Yeah, I do too.
Where you can listen to them talk about it and you could see what they are seeing.
Right.
I think that'd be amazing. However, I actually kind of think replays are pretty good theater. Yeah.
No, in all sports, and growing up, we never had that, baseball, football, it never happened, but it's cool now.
Now you got baseball with the replay and this season. And if you're watching any of the spring training games or you've been listening along, you will hear them challenge balls and strikes.
Yeah.
It happens very quickly. The assessment is that it'll add about a minute to each game, which is not a big deal.
Nothing.
Because the challenging of the balls and strikes it's immediate.
Right. And then you're limited to a couple or three?
You get a couple. If you get it right, you get it back. So, yeah, I like replay. And I think in football, especially, replay is really good theater. When a play happens and then they go to, the challenge, and then you're watching on TV and you're watching the replays yourself and you're with a bunch of people and you're like, that looks, I think his foot's in. I don't know. I think it's good theater.
Yeah, I wish they would allow pass interference reviews.
I agree with you on that.
Because they missed that call is ridiculous.
I agree with you on that. John Hancock has a problem with you people who are in customer service, and we are going to talk about that when we come back. That is John. He is in for Amy. I'm Chris Ranji. This is KMOX.
The reason many of us hate insurance companies is because some of them act like bullies. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been dealing with these creatures my whole career. Whether it's a workers' comp claim, an auto accident, or a nursing home or medical mishap, the playbook is often the same: deny and delay. We became the largest injury firm in America for a reason. We fight the bullies. They know who we are, and I know it makes a difference for our clients. Just go to forthepeople.com and see our results and our verdicts after those bullies gave us their final offer. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. It's easy to get going. Visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer, or call us on your cell at pound law, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
I'm Mark Solinger, producer and one of the hosts of the Moth podcast. For nearly 2 decades, The Moth has brought live storytelling to stages around the world and to millions of listeners. These are real people telling true stories from their lives. Stories about a lost family recipe, about working to free a wrongfully convicted man, about realizing you need to leave your May-December romance. Stories that will move you, surprise you, make you laugh. Stories you can't forget. Join us. Follow and listen to The Moth wherever you get your podcasts.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Hola, amigos! Brad Evans here. Check out this booming voice and Pat Boyle on BetMGM tonight, covering the biggest sports stories from coast to coast, live and interactive on the free Odyssey app, discussing NFL offseason news and getting you ready for the madness in college hoops. BetMGM tonight with me, Brad Evans and Pat Boyle, live and interactive, Monday through Friday night, starting at 6 Eastern, presented by BetMGM. Always live on the free Odyssey app and watch on YouTube at BetMGM tonight.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Get ready, St. Louis area. The St. Charles Boat Show is here March 5th through 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. See the top dealers from the Lake of the Ozarks and climb aboard your next dream boat. New models, great deals, and summer fun starts here. Visit lakeoftheozarksboatdealers.com for details.
Race car drivers like NASCAR champion Jesse Love are a lot like commercial drivers. Pros, but even the best watch the tape to see what they missed and get better next time. The Samsara driving coach does the same for your fleet, giving drivers real-time feedback to build safer habits. Samsara's AI uses billions of miles of real driving data to help fleets prevent accidents and protect drivers.
If it makes me a better driver, it'll make your fleet unstoppable.
Because even champions need a coach. Learn more at samsara.com.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
We're sorry. All of our representatives are still assisting other customers. Please remain on the line as we value your call.
If you valued my call, you'd answer the phone.
Don't get me started, Rons.
Well, we have to get you started because all of us have called customer service. There's not a single person who's listening who has not called customer service.
Yeah. Let me tell you what happened. So,
and by the way, you're still on hold. I could hear your phone.
Yeah,
going.
I'm on. Should I turn it off? They're not going to answer. I guarantee you. All right, I'll turn it off. And so, New Year's Eve, I'm having lunch with my nephew and his fiance, and we're having a lovely conversation, talking about the wedding, you know. And they mentioned this young couple that they were very aggravated about having to pay their personal property taxes, which reminded me, I don't think I've paid my personal property tax. So I got home, I got online, and I paid my personal property taxes. And then when I was balancing my checkbook in January, I realized that I had already paid my personal property taxes on December the 9th.
Oh.
So I paid it twice.
Okay.
So I want to get my money back. You know? It's my money. And it's
your money,
it's not
John.
a small amount of money.
John, nobody else should have your money.
No. So I called the St. Louis County Department of Revenue.
Oh, you should get through quickly.
I got the answering machine.
Oh.
They punched 3 to talk to a representative. I did that. And then I was on hold, Ronj. I was on hold for 57 minutes.
57 minutes?
And I hung up, and I called the main number for St. Louis County and punched through, and I got an actual person, and I said, could you please ask somebody from the Department of Revenue to call me back? She says, I can't do that, but I can give you their number, and I'll transfer you. She transfers me. I'm now on hold for 40 minutes. I'm sitting at my desk, I'm working, you know, and this horrible music is on. Please continue to hold. The next available operator will be with you shortly. Well, that was a lie. And so then I thought, okay, I'm going to get online. Maybe there's some portal out there I can go and communicate with the St. Louis County Department of Revenue. So I get online, I find their website, and there's no place to click to talk to anybody, but there's an email address. Department of Revenue Collector at stlouiscounty.mo.gov, whatever it is. So I send them an email. This was 2 weeks ago. I have yet to receive a response to that email. Now, these people owe me about $1,200, and I can't communicate with them. There's nothing I can do. And I call, they don't answer. I email, they don't respond. This is not good.
How?
St. Louis County Department of Revenue, folks. Horrible.
So I'm
very aggravated.
Is it the kind of thing where if you were calling to pay a bill, they would answer right away?
I would imagine. I would imagine. When
Yeah.
I went online to pay my personal property taxes for the second time, right into the system, there I am. There's the amount I owe. Didn't indicate that I'd already paid it. And
Now, there should be like a fail safe there or something.
one would think, Ron, one would think. But this is a government, and I'm paying for it. And I'm paying for it twice, as a matter of fact. And they don't answer the phone. How many people work in the St. Louis County Department of Revenue? That's my question, because none of them are answering the phone when you call in.
What if it's nobody?
Well, it could be nobody.
What if nobody works there?
Well, maybe there is no Department of Revenue, but they do have a phone number, 615-1500, hit number 3, and stay on hold.
Don't give the number, because the people are going to call, and then it's going to reduce the
I mean,
odds you get an answer.
How many people could possibly be calling the St. Louis County Department of Revenue on a Tuesday morning at 9:17 and remaining on hold?
How many times have you called them?
This was my third today.
When you just called?
Yeah. I'm very aggravated. I don't like it.
So if you work for the Department of Revenue,
If you work anywhere in St. Louis County, if you are a St. Louis County employee, 436-7900. We'd love to hear from you. If you work for the St. Louis County Department of Revenue, 314-436-7900. We won't call you. You call us, and then maybe we can take care of figuring out how you can refund. Now, this was my bad. I paid it twice. I mean, stupid. But they owe me money, and they won't answer the phone.
And it's funny that we are talking about this now, or that you're having this issue, because we are going to talk to somebody who's the author of a new book.
You're talking about Amos Tanua.
Oh, yeah. Amos Tanuma has written a book called Hold, The Suffering Economy of Customer Service.
There it is.
And we will talk to Amos at 11:30 today about how customer service is becoming less and less human.
It's AI.
It feels like it's kind of been pretty robotic for a long time.
Yeah.
But now that's accelerating.
I'll tell you who's got a good AI. I mean, maybe the best in the business. Jet's Pizza. You call and you get the AI bot there at Jet's Pizza. He remembers that I'd called him, 3 weeks ago.
Does he sound like a human?
Ish. Ish. But he clearly, and he clicks away. You tell him you want the 4-corner Detroit style pizza with pepperoni, black olives, mushrooms, onion, extra cheese, and he spits it right back at you. And then as soon as you do that, he said, "Would you also like the chicken wings that you ordered the last time?"
Oh, he remembers.
He remembers my order, and and he calls me John, and then he repeats it all back to me, and he said, "Did I get that right, John?" And I said, "Yes, you did. Thank you so much." And he said, "You're very welcome." And he said, "We will text you pickup time." And sure enough, you hang up, boom, the pickup time is in your text chain immediately.
Are you sure this isn't just like an awkward human?
Nobody.
Sounds robotic?
No, because he's clicking. You can hear him when I
clicking?
talk. You hear the clicks in the background. And
is that while he's thinking?
Yeah, he's thinking about what I've, the wisdom I have imparted to him about this pizza that's magnificent. The 4-corner Detroit style with pepperoni, mushroom, black olives, and onion and extra cheese. And man, he nails it.
What if your Jet's Pizza experience is as good as artificial intelligence gets? That could be the peak.
I could live with it.
It could be the peak AI.
Buddy. I could live with it.
I'm okay with that too. I don't need it taking everybody's job.
Right. But this is kind of nice because when you order with a human being, they get stuff wrong.
They can.
They absolutely can. The other day, I'm in the drive-thru. Here's your sweet tea. No, I said. I ordered unsweet tea. So then they had to go pour out my sweet tea. They had to pour the unsweet tea. Everybody behind me is getting aggravated while they're pouring my tea. People get stuff wrong. The guy at Jets, whoever he is very good. All I got to say. St. Louis County Department of Revenue, on the other hand, not good at all.
I've told this story before. Pajeski has heard it. You have not heard it, I think. my old roommate used to run a few Jimmy John stores in Chicago.
Yeah.
And so he was telling me the story about how he had a bunch of young kids that worked for him, answering the phones, taking orders. And it's lunch rush, and they're going through all the tickets. And he looks at a ticket, and one of the tickets says, all those shoes. The location was all those shoes. And he says, what does that mean? All those shoes. And it was all those shoes on Michigan Avenue. He's like, I don't know what the hell that means. What does that mean? And she goes, I don't know. They said all those shoes. He's like, do you mean Aldo shoes? ALDO, Aldo shoes? She's like, yeah, I guess that's it. Awesome. Really funny. And also,
yes,
this is a customer service thing, but it's not a phone. Have you ever gotten iced coffee from McDonald's?
I have not.
Dude.
Yes.
It's the word. They have good hot coffee.
Yeah, I agree.
Iced coffee. And they give it to you. It's like all milk. It's just a big cup of milk with a splash of coffee in it.
Well, that's
I got that, and I drove away, and I went, this does not look right. I went back into the drive-thru, and I said, can I just get a little coffee?
Yeah.
Or a little milk and mostly coffee? And they looked at me like I had 7 heads.
This looks serious.
This does not look good. Megan Lynch in from the KMOX newsroom has some breaking news for us. Megan, what's going on?
We've had a couple of people tip us off to this, and now Washington University in St. Louis has issued an alert on their campus. And this is what it says on their website right now. Armed person on Danforth campus, run, hide, or fight. If hide, lock, or barricade yourself in a room until further notice. If off campus, stay away. You can find updates at emergencywashu.edu. I've tried to reach out to the campus police. They have not had an answer yet. I'm going to continue making calls. But again, this alert was issued this morning about 9:18. This is on the WashU website. So if you are headed to the Danforth campus, we recommend you stay away. If you're on campus and you hear this, please get in a safe location, and we'll continue to follow the story here on KMOX.
Oh, boy. All right. Thank you, Megan. We appreciate that. And we will keep you updated if we find out anything else. So, armed person on campus at WashU right now, at least according to their alerts. That is not good. It is John Hancock and Chris Ranji. We will be with you in just a moment on KMOX.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
I genuinely am excited about the start of the baseball season because this is an extraordinarily different baseball season for the St. Louis Cardinals. And not that anybody wants to rebuild, but it is going to be fascinating for me to see how this team evolves and emerges and all the stuff that Chaim Bloom does.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Larry Older here. You know, one of the most rewarding parts of sharing Relief Factor with you is hearing real stories like that of Sandra. She tells us, I've been hearing about Relief Factor on the radio for a couple of years, and I finally decided to try it because nothing else was helping my back pain. I know the feeling. With a 3-week quick start, she said, I went for it. Now I feel like a new person. That's Sandra's own words, and it's so gratifying to hear. I've told you about my brother Kirk having difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning. He wouldn't listen to me. I told him to take Relief Factor. He finally did. Began moving better, feeling stronger. Too bad he didn't listen earlier. Try it for yourself. The 3-week quick start. And see how Relief Factor could be your game changer too. It is only $19.95. Think about it. Do the math. Less than $1 a day. So call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com, all one word, relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It is 32 degrees, mostly cloudy in St. Louis. Today we'll have a high of 53.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
Glover here from my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Seems like this weather is going to continue. The cold weather is going to continue here in St. Louis and Illinois for the foreseeable future to finish out the winter. Now, if you have been unlucky or you don't want to wait till you're unlucky and you need your furnace fixed or even replaced, call me. We can get your furnace next day. Sometimes we, depending on the manufacturer, it's not us, but just depending on the manufacturer, if they have the parts available, and here in St. Louis or Illinois, we can get you that day. But either way, if you're having problems with the furnace or you want to prevent problems with the furnace, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois, just one number. That number is 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, it's Bart Inman. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
John Hancock is in for Amy Mark's course today. I'm Chris Ranji. It is the Chris and Amy show. And just again to reiterate, the latest alert that we got was from 9:18, almost 9:19 this morning from Washington University, from emergency management there. They have this on their website at the moment. It says, armed person on Danforth campus, run, hide, or fight. If hide, lock or barricade yourself in a room until further notice. If off campus, stay away. Updates at emergency.washu.edu. So we will continue to keep you posted if we hear anything else. We've not gotten any additional details on it, but an armed person on the Danforth campus at WashU. That was as of about almost 20 minutes ago.
And the Danforth campus is on Forsyth Boulevard.
It's the main campus. Yeah.
A lot of buildings there, a lot of classrooms. Very disturbing bit of news this morning.
Yeah, so we don't have any additional details. We don't know if there have been shots fired or just somebody who was suspicious and alarming who set off the emergency alerts. Not really exactly sure what happened, but hopefully nothing terrible has happened here. That is very scary, however. So armed person on the Danforth campus at WashU. They are telling people to run, hide, or fight. If off campus, stay away. And we will continue to update you here. As soon as we find out anything else, the newsroom will pop in.
Yeah, they're on
let
it.
us know.
Looking at the newsroom from here, they're on the phone and working this story. And that's one of the great things about KMOX is that we do have a newsroom, and it's active, and they're talented and professional journalists. So we'll update you live right here as soon as we know.
And this is the times when local news matters a lot.
Yep.
And so hopefully nothing awful happens here, but it's frightening.
Yeah.
But it's the world we live in. So, but we'll keep you posted if anything else happens. We learn of anything. Of course, we will pass it along to you, but be safe out there and stay away from the WashU campus if you are not already on campus at the moment. Tonight is the State of the Union address.
It is,
John. And, I know that for a lot of people, they prefer not to watch. And apparently a lot of Democrats are not going to watch. Maybe not a lot, but at least a handful have said that they are going to skip the proceedings tonight, will not go there, but instead will take place in alternative programming. I suppose much like what happened with the Super Bowl halftime show. But there is a thing called the People's State of the Union. It's going to start on the National Mall around 8 o'clock. And a number of Democratic senators plan to attend that as opposed to going to the State of the Union. Other Democrats are bringing in Epstein survivors. So
Right.
people who are public about being victims of Jeffrey Epstein or anybody who was involved with Epstein Island or part of the sex trafficking. Several Democrats are bringing along some of these survivors to the State of the Union. So, there's a lot going on here. And the State of the Union address has really become, in the last several years, highly charged.
Yeah.
It used to be pretty boring. You watch it.
Well,
one side claps, the other one doesn't.
It was pageantry. And it was an important civic pageantry that took place. And the President of the United States enters the joint meeting of the House and Senate, walks down the center aisle, shakes hands, is acknowledged, recognized, standing ovation. There was a pageantry to it. It was a showpiece for the institutions of our government. And there was, while not universal applause, there was universal decorum at that event. And it was a time that we could all come together and celebrate America. And it has ceased to be that. And I find it very regrettable. And I don't know that we'll ever have those days back. I remember being a kid and watching Jimmy Carter stride to the podium, watching Ronald Reagan stride to that podium, deliver his address after being shot, and seeing George Bush, W. Bush, take to the podium in the months after 9/11. And those are important times for a civic society, for a nation to be able to come together, to rejoice or to mourn. We have some updates now. It looks like Megan Lynch is coming in.
Yeah, and so this is the most recent update.
Okay.
And appreciate Megan coming in here. It says police, and this is from Washington University, police are checking buildings in the vicinity of Brookings Hall after receiving reports of a person with a weapon. There is no confirmation of an active shooter, but please remain in place. If you see an armed person, run, hide, or fight. Updates at emergency.washu.edu. So we don't have any confirmation of an active shooter, according to WashU, but they did see somebody with a weapon near Brookings Hall. So that's the latest update. So we don't know if anything, it doesn't appear that at this moment that shots have been fired, but we don't know. So that is the latest from WashU.
All right. Well, we will continue to keep you updated on that situation, scary situation, unfolding as we speak.
And hopefully it just stays like this.
Yeah.
That there's somebody there and they take care of it, but that person hasn't hurt or harmed anybody else. So no confirmation of an active shooter right now, but please remain in place if you are on the WashU campus. And of course, if you are not, they are encouraging people to stay away. So, here's the way I feel about tonight. I don't particularly care for this president. This is my personal opinion. You don't have to like my opinion, and that is fine. You can think he's the greatest thing that you've ever seen. I don't think that he is particularly good. I think he's legitimately divisive. I've always thought this thing that we've heard for years that Barack Obama is the most divisive president, and people are still saying that. I think that's weird because his rhetoric was never divisive, and this person's rhetoric is intentionally divisive, and he intentionally, explicitly targets people who disagree with him or who are on the opposite side of him. Always, and it's clear. It's not even hinted at. He just does it. And I think because of that, it has created a pretty lousy environment for States of the Union addresses.
Right.
However, I don't know how I feel about the opposing political party skipping it. I feel uneasy about it just because I don't want this to become a trend where every 4 years now, we have a new president come in, and then every year that person delivers a State of the Union, the opposing party is just going to skip it.
I fear.
So if that's what the trend becomes, and that's how it is every single year, I mean, I think we're already heading in a bad direction, but I think that gets us there quicker.
Yeah, and I fear that maybe that ship has sailed, and we're not going to have many, if any, moments of national coming together, for a State of the Union address, an inauguration. These are public ceremonies that really are meaningful in the context of the life of a nation. It's how you build a civic identity. It's how you include people together and unite around a common set of values and principles. And those national ceremonies are important. And they become divisive and devalued to the detriment, I think, of a healthy republic.
Even if, your people are just there, and even if the State of the Union address itself is boring and there's nothing there, and it's just, look at all the stuff I've accomplished, and then half the room claps and the other sits there on their hands, at least you're there. There's some visual of togetherness, even if they're not actually together or in agreement on anything of import. I mean, I don't know how I feel about people skipping it. I understand not liking the guy. I totally get that.
Well, I've had a lot of presidents I didn't care for.
Right.
But they're the president of the United States of America. And it's the House members, it's the Senate members, it's the Supreme Court, who, by the way, the president's been ripping of late by name, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I mean, it's the country. It's our entire three branches of government on display in the same room. It should be treated with respect and some level of awe for a republic that's been established now for 250 years under a constitution, the longest existing constitution in the history of the world. And it's under real stress right now in this country. And, I would hope that the State of the Union would be a place where we could at least agree that this nation is unique in world history and it's special. And I fear that that's just simply not the case.
For me, the first time I can remember, just in my lifetime, where there's been any sort of, at the State of the Union, people typically just either listen, people in the room, in the chamber, they either listen, they clap, they don't clap. You don't get a whole lot of outbursts, and there have been more outbursts lately. The first one I can remember was Joe Wilson.
Walsh. Oh, Joe
Wilson.
Joe Wilson, right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, do you recall it before that?
No.
Where he said, "You lie."
Right.
Which was at the time a kind of a big deal. People didn't do that.
Right.
It's gotten progressively worse.
It has.
So at Washington University, we don't have any further updates. However, on their emergency management page, they have removed the alert banner at the top of their website. I don't know what that means, but they were urging people to stay away from campus because they found an armed person, or there were reports of an armed person on campus. No shots fired, or at least no shots confirmed. So that's all we know. And we do know they removed the emergency banner, but they have not explained anything further. So we will continue to update you as to what is happening at Wash U. So stick with us. It is Hancock and Ranji on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Is your furnace on its last legs? Don't wait for a cold night to find out.
Jerry Kelly and KMOX are giving you the chance to win a brand new furnace this winter season. Just go online to KMOX.com/contest through March 1st and nominate someone who you think deserves a brand new furnace. Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. Win a brand new furnace. For more information and contest rules, just head to KMOX.com/contest.
Well, if you ever wanted to go to the NBA Finals, here is your opportunity. It's a chance courtesy of FanDuel. All you have to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you'll be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. What's an NBA future? Well, like all betting, it's, kind of predicting what you think is going to happen in the future. However, these are bets that will happen long down the road, like who wins the NBA championship or who wins the NBA conference championship. NBA futures let you lock in your pick about who you think will go all the way. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri and get yourself started. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Limit one entry. For Profit Boost token, opt-in required. Must apply. Profit Boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Taking care of your health should be simple. And with the Neovitin monthly subscription, it finally is. Choose your doctor-formulated multivitamin and we'll deliver it straight to your door every month. No more running out, no more remembering to reorder, just consistent nutrition made easy. Plus, subscribers save 10% every month and can pause or cancel at any time. Visit neovitin.com and start your subscription today. Neovitin, trusted nutrition every day.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price as 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Yep, this is the Chris and Amy Show. John Hancock is in. The latest, we should tell you, alert from Wash U. And here's what it says. Police are checking buildings in the vicinity of Brookings Hall after receiving reports of a person with a weapon. There is no confirmation of an active shooter, but please remain in place. If you see an armed person, run, hide, or fight. Updates at emergency.washu.edu. We will continue to update you if we hear anything else, but that update was as of 9:50. So right when we were in the middle of the commercial break. That's what we know. A person with a weapon near Brookings Hall on the Danforth campus at Wash U. Nobody at this point. No shots have been fired as far as we know. And the newsroom's working on it. So as soon as we hear anything else, we will pass that along to you. Not good, man.
Not good.
I hate it every time it happens.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, let's just hope nothing happens.
Comes out of it.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is how we live is just, it's crazy. Club Imperial, John.
No.
Which is on the north. You're a music person. I would think you know Club Imperial in North City. This was the venue that helped launch the careers of Tina and Ike Turner.
Yes.
And the building is still there, but it's been in disrepair for many years and is falling apart. The facade is there still. And
where is it? It's in North City, but
it is in the 6300 block of Florissant, West Florissant. It's near Goodfellow.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
I saw David Hines perform there.
Oh.
Who was with Ike and Tina Turner. He actually did our wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 35 years ago.
Yeah, well, they are looking to tear it down because the cost to keep it up would have been something close to $18 million just to renovate it, and it's been falling apart. And they are looking to at least salvage some of the more historic parts of the building.
I remember the place well now. I didn't call the name, but that's exactly where we went and saw David Hines.
Yeah, Club Imperial. And when I think about Tina Turner, I think a lot about this. I'm fascinated by Gaslight Square.
Yes.
So I don't obviously remember it because I wasn't around for it, but right in the Central West End at Olive and I want to say Olive and Boyle.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Could be, yeah.
Just north of Lindell by a couple of blocks.
Yeah.
There was this intersection and there were all these, nightclub type places and music venues, and Tina Turner used to play there, and all of it's gone. It's all residential now.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm just fascinated by that.
Yeah. You know who knows all about that is our own Johnny Rabbit. He can tell you. Of course, he can tell you about Gaslight Square. It was a little before my time, but some of my musical friends, the ragtime community here, they performed at Gaslight Square for years. St. Louis Ragtimers.
Yeah, it's such a cool thing, man. I wish I knew about that when I was growing up, and it's a thing that I learned about in the last probably 10 years.
I wonder if somebody's written a book. Surely somebody has written a book about Gaslight Square, because it was it would be a fun place to go back and visit.
Absolutely.
In the past.
So the latest update from Wash U, here's what they say. Police are still on the scene near Brookings Hall, and other Danforth campus buildings continue to remain in place until further notice. Updates will continue at emergency.washu.edu, but there were reports earlier of a person on campus, a person with a weapon on campus near Brookings Hall, and police are on the scene looking for them. They want those of you who are not on campus but maybe have business on campus to stay away, and if you were there, they are basically putting people on lockdown.
They're going to have to go room to room to room and eliminate the possibility that there's an armed person in there, I guess. That's going to take some time.
Yep. Remain in place until further notice. That is the latest alert from Washington University. When we come back, Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth, will be with us. We'll talk about these tariffs and what happens next and how it will affect you on KMOX.
Being first in line can be very important to homeowners. First in line for the plumber, first in line for the HVAC guy, first at Banner Construction. It's Banner Construction's winter home event, and you can be the first in line this spring and save before the annual price increases. Banner Construction is a James Hardy and Pella replacement windows specialist, and now is the best time to schedule a free in-home consultation with no obligation. Call 314-569-1050 or check them out on the web at bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
John Coltrane with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in a special one-night-only event, Coltrane 100 Legacy. Celebrate Coltrane's creative genius through powerful orchestral arrangements of his most groundbreaking works. Curated and arranged by acclaimed composer Carlos Simon, this performance features saxophone icon Joe Lovano in a journey from Coltrane's early classics to his late visionary masterpieces. It's jazz, symphony, and legacy, all in one unforgettable night with your St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. February 28th at 7:30 p.m. at Powell Hall. Tickets at slso.org.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about 213 Complex. Now you can pick that up at supplement superstores. And quite simply, 213 Complex is the most effective and powerful all-natural weight loss supplement ever developed. Here's what it's doing for me and what it'll do for you. Boost the metabolism, gets it working at full go all the time. Helps with cravings. And man, that's a big deal for me. All-day focus energy with no jitters, no crash at the end of the day. It's a great tool for achieving your goals. Get out to supplement superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will knock 30% off your 213 Complex. And you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Some people spend more time planning their weekend barbecue than their retirement. And hey, I love barbecue, but ribs won't pay your bills at 85. I'm Gary Goldberg, the founder of Financial and Tax Strategies. I'll help you retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Give me a call, 800-966-1690, or visit us at checkwithgary.com before you burn through more than just your burgers.
Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial, Inc., an FFC registered investment advisor.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
It is 10 o'clock. It's cloudy, windy, 36 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Staff and students on the Washington University campus were put on alert shortly after 9 this morning after reports of a person with a weapon. The last report was of a sighting near Brookings Hall. Police are checking buildings nearby. The university says there is no confirmation of any active shooter. An alert posted on the university website instructed anyone who sees an armed person to run, hide, or fight. KMOX News has a reporter at the scene. President Trump set to give his first State of the Union address of his second term tonight. CBS's Aaron Navarro with some issues the president will be going with.
We've seen tariffs, ICE officer-involved shootings, strikes on Iran to capture Maduro in Venezuela, things that have eroded his support with independents, certain minority voters, and some Republicans. It'll be a more challenging political environment for the president.
Trump's expected to proclaim the economy is booming while endorsing increased military spending and tighter voter ID rules leading up to the November midterm elections. There are 40,000 cars in St. Louis that are eligible to be booted right now. The problem? The city owns only 30 boots. KSDK is reporting the boot program was shut down in 2018 after an FBI investigation into the program. The city treasurer says the tow lot is full. The Streets Department Operations Chief, Sean Hadley, disagrees, says it boils down to a staffing issue. Right now, he has 375 abandoned car complaints, only 5 inspectors to handle all the complaints. He says he needs at least 12. One abandoned car has $8,660 worth of parking tickets. It's been parked on Locust Street since last April. The treasurer's office recently announced the restart of the boot program, but so far no cars have actually been booted. From the KMOX business desk, once a bright spot for job creation, the job market in the St. Louis technology sector struggled last year, with job postings across 56 core tech occupations dropping 25%. The report from Tech STL frames it as a realignment as employers react to AI consolidation and cost pressures. A lot of Americans are considering a side hustle to keep up with ever-rising costs, and scammers know it. If you get a text, a social media message, or an email out of the blue offering a gig like reshipping packages or doing data entry or some other task from home, it's almost certainly a scam. What criminals really want is your bank account number or your social security number to steal your money or identity, which of course you would give that information in order to get paid if there were actually a job.
Turning warmer this afternoon with clouds, some sunshine, and a gusty wind, or high 56. Remaining mostly cloudy tonight, low 36. More clouds and sun tomorrow, the high 55. Clouds will give way to more and more sunshine Thursday, the high 56. Much warmer Friday and Saturday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cloudy, windy, and 36 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. The weather sponsored by the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. We're partners committed to you, your business, and your community. From family law to litigation, we're ready to serve. Visit sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX, and John Hancock is in today. It's good to have you along for the ride. Hour 2 of 3. And again, if you are just tuning in, there was a person with a weapon reported on the Wash U Danforth campus, and they have been telling people to stay away if you're not there. The most recent update is as follows. Police are still on the scene near Brookings Hall, and other Danforth campus buildings continue to remain in place until further notice. So if we hear of anything else, we will let you know, but there had been no confirmation of any shots fired or anything like that as of a few minutes ago. We will let you know if anything changes, of course, and we'll break in and tell you about any news that happens. But now we are talking to Dave Simons, who is the partner and managing director of One Private Wealth. Dave, good to have you with us. How are you?
Thanks, Chris. Good to be here as always. Hello, John.
Hey, buddy. Good to always love this segment every week.
Yeah, I love talking to you. I have no idea what you're going to be watching tonight. Maybe a rerun or something. Can't imagine.
Billikens basketball, buddy. We got Billikens in Dayton. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I totally forgot about that. That's much more enjoyable than a certain show on tonight. Yes.
So let's talk about that State of the Union, because I did want to ask you about the tariffs, which some are apparently going into place on imports. And this was even after the Supreme Court struck down, his unilateral tariffs. And I think there's so much confusion here because people don't know what this means. Is he still trying to implement them, even though the Supreme Court said he can't? So with that confusion comes uncertainty, and with that, it messes with the markets. So where do we stand today?
Yeah, Chris, you actually nailed the word, and that is uncertainty. Wall Street hates uncertainty. It typically sells first, asks questions later until it can eliminate some of that uncertainty. It's the old cliche of the devil you know versus the devil you don't. And the markets spent all of last year in 2025 trying to figure out what the tariffs were going to do, what industries were going to get hit, what countries will be affected. Oh, this industry is getting a certain carve out. Oh, that company is got a little special tariff just for them. And after a while, the market kind of settled in and go, okay, we may not like this. It's a little chaotic, but at least we sort of have a game plan. Well, the Supreme Court decision, which was not a surprise at all to Wall Street, really throws that all out the window. It's like, okay, man, here we go again. And it's more confusing than ever. So no real surprise. The market has sold off a little bit. I'm not bearish. I don't think that one decision is going to cause any real damage to the market. In fact, it's nicely up today, but it does bring on some uncertainty. And I don't think you can get a resumption of the bull market until we get more clarity.
Yeah. And, the president has now chosen a different statute under which to impose sweeping tariffs. And, that's going to be, adjudicated. Although this one has some kind of a fairly short window of effectiveness, right? Am I
Yeah,
reading that right?
Yep, Section 122 of an old trade act in 1974 that has not been enacted in decades. I mean, I guess they took the cobwebs out, and I think they knew, the Trump administration knew that the decision was probably going to go against them because, man, they just brought all of this out immediately. And that Section 122 says that a president can impose tariffs of up to 10% across the board. And the quote is this: to deal with large and serious United States balance of payment deficits. Very antiquated. That was back when we were still on the gold standard. So he's got 150 days to figure this out, and they're throwing out all of these other sections: 201, 301, 232. And that's why the market is just like, we don't know what this is going to do. And by the way, on the tariffs that have been really rendered null and void in the past, all these companies now are wondering, should we sue the government? Should we try to get this money back? We're already seeing that. How about us as consumers? All studies have shown that
we're paying
we've
it.
paid some of this. Do we all get a check for a couple grand in the mail? I mean, it probably not. But it just belies the point again about the chaos that has ensued because of this. Things will settle down, but until then, expect more volatility.
You mentioned balance of payments. That's essentially the difference between what we import versus what we export to other countries. Economists generally, I think, believe that that's not really that important of a figure. Is that right?
John, thank you for asking that question, because I was just talking to somebody else about that this morning. Every white paper that's been written, every study that has been conducted on this comes to the same conclusion. When you are king of the land economically around the world, which we have been post World War II, you are typically going to run a deficit. And that has only increased as the global economy has become more flatlined. We have, Americans do, this insatiable appetite to consume. And that is what has driven this economy for decades. It's what's actually, frankly, driven the global economy for decades. Well, we as a country cannot, it's impossible to produce everything that we want to buy. So all this talk about, well, then let's pull all the manufacturing back here. Okay, sounds great in theory, but expect prices to be paid to double and triple and quadruple, because we're going to pay them American wages as opposed to a lot of these foreign countries. So you cannot have your cake and eat it too. Running deficits is actually a sign of strength in this global economy. So I don't fully understand this desire to try to even the playing field. I get it if you feel that a country is taking advantage of it. So you can piecemeal this. And that's why I think the market was expecting that a year ago. But this across the board, everybody gets 10 to 15%, to me is not workable, and it's unnecessary.
Is it possible? Okay, so let's talk about what is I guess an acceptable level of deficit, because if you have too much of it, right, then you're talking about a real issue. But is there an acceptable level that we want to be at, and can you know what that is? You know what I mean? Like, there's not a number, right?
Yeah, Chris, I think if I remember right, the historical average in this country is a deficit that's about 70 or 80% of GDP. Japan has run a deficit for years of over 200% GDP, their deficit. And that's why that economy has flatlined for over 30 years. It's only now starting to improve because they're attacking it. So yeah, we are slightly over 100%. That's historically high. It has not mattered yet, but it will at some point, because bond, and I've said this before, the bond vigilantes, man, that is the most powerful group in finance anywhere in the world. And people who buy our bonds around the world, all institutions, individuals, pension plans, if they decide that our deficit is too high and it can prove to be inflationary and hurt the dollar, they will start selling our bonds. What is that tipping point? I don't know. Is it 120% GDP? Is it 150? It's out there. And we are incrementally still moving in that direction. I have longer term concerns, nothing today yet.
Yeah, and you look at the national debt and financing our national debt. which is now 30 whatever trillion.
Approaching 40 now.
Yeah.
We're right on the edge of 40 trillion.
And our countries, at some point, do folks stop financing our debt? And then what do we do?
That's exactly right. That's my concern. If you have, well, you had, what was it, a couple of months ago when Sweden decided, hey, we don't want to own U.S. debt anymore. We don't really like what's happening politically. We don't like all this talk about coming into one of our neighbors and taking over Greenland. We don't really know if we can trust what the U.S. is doing. I'm not making a personal political statement. I'm just rehashing what Sweden has said, and they don't want to be part of this. So they have ordered their government pension plans to sell their U.S. treasuries because they don't know if the dollar is going to stay strengthened through all of this. So it is a problem longer term. I've been really amazed at how well it has held up. The dollar has weakened a little bit. It was overvalued, in my opinion, so I welcome this. But if it continues to weaken against other currencies, then you could have some issues. You could have an inflationary problem. And therein lies, guys, why gold is back to hitting all-time records. More investors are, including big governments around the world, who feel, I don't know if we can count on the U.S. having the big dollar anymore to kind of support the global economy. So we're going to start hedging, and we're going to be buying more gold, silver, and other commodities.
So Meta has a new deal for GPUs, for artificial intelligence. What does that mean for AI stocks?
Oh my goodness. AI stocks have actually been, believe it or not, this is not getting as much headlines as I thought, but if you go back a year when AI stocks were peaking, about April, somewhere in there of a year ago, they've actually been underperforming the rest of the market. It's interesting what analysts are calling this. The real economy is back. What does that mean? It's the old-fashioned economy. You're seeing industrial companies, you're seeing retailers, you're seeing certain selected healthcare stocks. Even some of the old line tech stocks have done a little bit better. The AI stocks like Nvidia, like Broadcom and others, Microsoft, are all down. And in some cases, double digits. And I think what it is because people are finally getting concerned about all the spending, hundreds of billions of dollars, Meta being one of them, and to try to make sure that they are in front of the race, the AI race, as they build out the thumbprint, all the data centers that are being built. And now investors, especially the big institutional guys, are going, okay, when are you going to be done spending all your profit and actually show some return on AI? Because it hasn't happened. So I think longer term on that, Chris, AI stocks, yes, you got to have some exposure there depending on your risk tolerance. But here in the near term, I suspect that the old economy stocks will continue to outperform.
Looking at the global economy and foreign stock markets, are we seeing any trends globally about where the economy is heading?
Absolutely, 100%. So starting about a year ago on that, John, international and foreign stocks, on average, have outperformed U.S. stocks. We've been waiting for that for honestly about 15 years. We get little stops and starts. International will do a little bit better for 6 months, 9 months, and then the U.S. takes over. And for obvious reasons, this has been going on since the end of the Great Recession 15, 16 years ago. But international stocks got so cheap, and sort of a side domino that has come from the way Trump has managed kind of some of the global relations is that these foreign companies now are spending more money internally, especially on defense, on their defense, because Trump, and I agree with him on this, he'll look to a lot of these NATO countries and say, look, guys, we kind of fund most of this. And I think you're just sort of getting a little bit of a free ride here because you know that the U.S. is going to come to your defense and they'll finance it too. Well, I'm sorry, those freebie days are over. And so a lot of these European countries are saying, oh, geez, okay, we better increase our own defense and reach deals with other countries. That may hurt us longer term here in the U.S., but if you're an investor, and that's what I always like to get back down to, and you have not increased your international stock exposure, now it's not too late. We think this thing has legs. We have been increasing our international exposure in our model since last year and continue to do so.
So Bitcoin is on the verge of some sort of, I don't know, I've seen people call it a collapse, but there's a little bit less confidence in it at the moment. It's a very volatile thing to get into, and I still don't quite understand the appeal of it. And I feel like a lot of people are probably setting themselves up for massive disappointment down the road. But where do you stand on it?
Chris, I've never really been able to get my arms around the concept of Bitcoin. I get it with blockchain technology, but everything that the Bitcoin bulls tried to sell us on in the early days has turned out not to be true. Well, it's going to be a hedge against inflation. Nope, it didn't do that. Well, it's going to be an alternative to gold. Nope, hasn't held up with that. It basically trades like a high-flying tech stock. And could it be 200,000 someday? Okay, sure. Could it go to 10,000? Yeah, sure. I mean, so you can tell I'm pretty agnostic on it. We do not own any Bitcoin in any of our portfolios, and any clients who have expressed interest, I just politely say, if you want to do that on your own, but we just feel that there are let's just be serious investors here. If anyone wants to play on it, I have no problem with it. But I tell them it's just kind of gambling, and my viewpoint has been proven accurate once again as this thing has been cut in half.
Dave Simons, always appreciate our conversations. We'll talk again next week.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, John. Take care, guys.
Yep. He's awesome.
Dave is great, and he's the partner and managing director of One Private Wealth with us every Tuesday on KMOX. The most recent update from Washington University from just a few moments ago, and this was after reports of a person on campus with a weapon, and no reports of any shots fired, but the latest update is as follows. Police are working to complete their search of Danforth campus buildings, continue to remain in place until further notice. They were asking people to stay away if you were not already on campus, and if you were on campus, they were telling folks to lock down and to remain and hide. So
we actually have an update from Maria Kina on campus.
I'm on the scene of the Washington University campus. We're on 4 sites right now. The good news is there are no reports, confirmation at least, of a gunman on campus. That's what came out initially. They told everyone to shelter in place. Again, no confirmation of this. And judging from the scene, St. Louis police, because right across the street is the city line, are leaving the scene. So you do not have any urgency here left on campus. The shelter-in-place order is still there as of right now. The latest alert from WashU that they sent out was police are checking buildings. Please stay in the area. On the campus of WashU, Maria Kina, KMOX News.
All right, and we will continue to keep you updated if we hear anything else, but it just from what we are hearing, sounds like it's not what it could have been. You know, it sounds like it's not one of those devastating events. So
good.
At least as of right now, but please stay in place if you are sheltering in place and happen to be listening, or if you are not on campus, stay away until further notice. This is the Chris and Amy Show. John Hancock is in. I'm Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Start your summer early at the St. Charles Boat Show, March 5th through 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. The top marine dealers from the Lake of the Ozarks will be on site with the newest boats, personal watercraft, docks, and accessories. Step aboard, compare models, and find the perfect ride for your family. Special show pricing and experts ready to help make your boating dreams a reality. Visit lakeoftheozarksboatdealers.com for more information.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This year, flavor doesn't walk. It runs wild. At PF Chang's, we're charging into the year of the horse with bold new wok-fired dishes like pork belly bao buns and refreshing cocktails like the Midnight Gallop. PF Chang's beloved red envelope tradition returns, adding a surprise element to every visit during the Lunar New Year. Each guest receives a red envelope revealing a special offer redeemable on a future visit. Celebrate the Lunar New Year with flavor that runs wild at PF Chang's. Valid for dine-in only while supplies last. Details at pfchangs.com.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA. So we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't hate, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
And so the most recent update from Washington University here in St. Louis, this was after a report of a person with a weapon on campus earlier. The university went on lockdown as a result. They were encouraging people to stay away from the Danforth campus. This is just from a couple of minutes ago from Washington University. All clear. Police have completed their search of the Danforth campus and did not locate an armed individual. There is no active threat on campus at this time. Normal campus operations may resume. So they searched the campus, did not find anything of concern, and they have given the all clear. So everything back to normal.
Yeah, you wonder if it was some kind of a prank, if so, horrible. Or if there was somebody armed that they escaped, but what would be the, we're just thankful that there was no violence.
Thankful nothing happened, but that is still a story because that's a massive police response that happens. And we know that living in the society we live in now, that it would not be unusual for this to happen on a campus, for somebody to go in and start shooting the place up or whatever, because it's happened.
Yeah.
And it happens way more than it should happen. So to get to the point where all these police have to come and respond to it,
right,
really we'll have to get to the bottom of what that was, because either somebody was mistaken or somebody is in serious trouble.
Yeah.
It's one of those two things. So no idea what that was. But the good news is all clear. Police have completed their search of the Danforth campus, and the normal operations are resuming at WashU.
Yeah.
So that's the good news, John.
That is good. And, kudos to KMOX. We had Maria Kina on the scene.
Yep.
And, we broke the news here last hour and have continued to keep all of you updated as it's played out.
And I know the newsroom continues to work on it and find out just exactly what happened.
Right.
And how this alert went out or why it went out, because that's a thing that we'll have to, it's not one of those things where, hey, the threat is done, everybody just go back to normal now.
No, we got to
We're going to find out why that happened.
But we got the hounds out there. We got the news hounds just across the glass here, and they're out there sniffing.
Let me tell you something about them news hounds.
Yeah.
They can smell, baby.
Yeah, they can.
They know what they're doing.
They got the nose on the ground, baby.
That's John Hancock. I'm Chris Ranji. We're going to talk minor league prospects with Sam Dykstra. We'll talk about the Cardinals, whose farm system has gotten a lot better in the last year or so, and it bodes well for the future, at least according to the experts out there. So Sam will join us in just a moment. But have you ever wanted to go to the NBA Finals? Well, here's your opportunity, courtesy of FanDuel. All you have to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you're going to be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. You might be wondering, what's an NBA future? Well, it gives you the opportunity to lock in your pick for who you think is going to win the championship. These are down-the-road bets. These are future bets. That's why they call it futures. So whether it's a team to win the conference title or a team to win the championship, just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri, and that will get you started. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA and of KMOX. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Limit one entry. For profit boost token, opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. There are real things to talk about. I am amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Cloudy and 36 degrees in St. Louis. The high today will be 53. Tonight, a low of 35. And the weather brought to you by Meadowview Memory Care.
Discover Meadowview Memory Care in Arnold, a small, secure community on a beautiful campus. Enjoy peace of mind with all our inclusive rates and comfortable private suites. Schedule your tour today at rspseniorliving.com.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Dave. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free and 0% financing for 36 months, plus $500 off your project. Call 314-334-2522. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorstlouis.com.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Tonight, it's men's Pelicans basketball action as they take to the court against Dayton. Pre-game 5:45, tip at 6 on your home for Pelicans basketball. KMOX.
Between second and third, runner goes, swing and a miss by Church. Throw down to second. It's going to get all the way out to center field, and that's going to score a run. Weatherholt comes in on the bad throw by the catcher Ramirez.
John Hancock and Chris Ranji today on the Chris and Amy Show. And in case you missed it earlier, they have given the all clear on the Wash U campus. There was a person with a weapon, allegedly, that they put the alert out there for people to shelter in place. But everything is back to normal at Wash U, and it doesn't look like anything terrible has happened there. So just so you know, all clear. And normal operations have resumed there. It is time for us to go to the guest line this morning, and the Cardinals season is coming up, baby. We're about a month away from it, but right now, spring training games are ongoing. The Grapefruit League is happening in Florida. Sam Dykstra, minor league reporter for MLB Pipeline, contributes to MLB Network. Sam is with us on KMOX. We talk a little Cardinals prospects today. How's it going, Sam?
It's good. It's good. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And from everything we hear, everything that we've read, people around baseball, around the country, seem to think the Cardinals have done a pretty good job in the last year or so of building up their prospect base. How good do they look compared to other teams right now in terms of the talent in the system?
Yeah, we are going to come out with our farm system rankings here in a little bit, so nothing is out there official yet. If I were to vote today, given the additions that they've had, given the internal development they've had, it feels like a top 5 system in baseball, which is where you want to be if you are trading away assets, right? Like Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Brendan Donovan. You want to be acquiring minor league talent that you can build up and see, coming to St. Louis in 2 or 3 years, or in some of these guys' cases very, very quickly. I think they've done well in drafts recently at the top, getting J.J. Weatherholt in 2024, Liam Doyle out of Tennessee last year. There's a real exciting well of talent hiding underneath. I mean, not a lot of these guys are going to break outside of Weatherholt with the major league roster, but there are a lot of reasons to be excited, certainly more reasons to be excited on the farm than many other organizations have right now.
Or than for many years as it relates to the Cardinals. And one of the places where we just have a wealth in the farm system is at the catching position. We've seen Raniel Rodriguez already this spring wallop the ball. Of course, he's a long way away from making the roster, but the Cardinals have a great amount of catching depth, and that's a good piece of capital to have. Yeah,
and it's catching depth in multiple different ways, right? You mentioned Raniel Rodriguez. We've already seen him hit a ball 106.7 miles per hour in Major League spring training. By the way, he's only 19 years old, and he might have the best power in all of the system. So you have that guy who's a bat-first catcher climbing his way towards St. Louis. But above him, you have Jimmy Crooks, who obviously made the majors last year, and Leonardo Bernal, who are both glove-first guys. Bernal was actually a minor league Gold Glove winner last year. Jimmy Crooks might be even a better defender than him. Both of those guys control the running game. They have different flavors that they're going to pick and choose from. You want multiple bites at the apple, right? You don't want one catcher who you putting all your hopes and dreams on and hoping that guy comes through. With 3 of these guys potentially taking over behind the plate long term, they give themselves a chance. And, the dream is to have 2 of these guys flipping off between each other. I still really like Raniel Rodriguez. I'm super excited to see what he can do with that power. Maybe he can be a 30 to 35 homer guy, which is extremely valuable behind the plate.
the guy we talk about a lot here because he is considered to be the top prospect in the Cardinals system is J.J. Weatherholt, who is likely going to make the team out of spring training. And if that's the case, that will hurt whatever the farm system rankings are because he has graduated to the big league. So this is kind of a two-part question. One, what do you think of him specifically as a prospect? And two, what will that do to their rankings when he is no longer in the pipeline anymore?
Well, I'll put it this way first. For your first part of your question, he's our number 5 overall prospect in all of baseball. Obviously, the hit tool is what excited evaluators mostly coming out of the draft in West Virginia, and the fact that he batted .306 with a .931 OPS last year between AA and AAA, actually started hitting for a little bit more power by the time he reached Memphis, just solidified that he is one of the best hitting prospects in all of baseball. He's somebody you make room for, and that's what they did with the Brendan Donovan trade. I think, things were kind of trending. Maybe he goes over to third base, but he can struggle a little bit on throws. He has the arm strength, but he's a better fit for second. Everybody's believed that. Well, now there's the opening there, and you put him in there. You don't worry about it. I saw an interview with Mason Wynn during yesterday's Cardinals broadcast where he was saying, those two guys really complement each other really well. Mason Wynn brings the defense. J.J. Weatherholt brings the offense. Now, how much can they mix that together and get a little bit more out of offense for Wynn and a little bit more defense for Weatherholt? But those guys playing alongside each other all spring is going to be huge. And then in terms of how it's going to affect the rankings, it's going to make them drop a little bit. But the whole point of player development is to get major league pieces ready, get them, with exciting tools like Weatherholt has. Even if they take a dip, I think that's something that all of Cardinals Nation can celebrate because they got a really, really good prospect to the major leagues when he was ready.
Sam Dykstra is our guest. He's a minor league reporter for MLB Pipeline. Pitching, everybody's looking for pitching, and everybody in baseball is looking for swing and miss stuff. And pitchers get hurt. And we've had some pitchers that have gone through some injuries and missed some time in the minor leagues. I'm thinking about Tink Hence and Cooper Jerpy. Are those guys potential to see the Cardinal roster at some point in 2026?
Yeah, both of those guys are on the 40-man roster now. Jerpy's coming back from Tommy John surgery that knocked him out for all of 2025. And Tink Hence, still has not thrown 100 innings in a season yet. He was dealing with a lat strain to begin last year and a right shoulder impingement, just really limited. And that's been the story ever since he was taken in the 2020 draft. I think both of those guys could be options this year because, again, they're on the 40-man. I think Hence is more likely because he's not coming off major surgery in the way that Jerpy is. Jerpy, you want him being built back up. The interesting thing with Hence is hearing from the St. Louis camp, they might be moving him to relief, not just because they want to preserve his health, but they just want to get him the ball as much as possible. They don't want him just getting one start a week and then having to sit, work on bullpens. Like, work as much in games as he can to get his stuff back because he just hasn't had much game action the last few years. So we'll see what his role ends up being in St. Louis. The stuff still could play as a starter. That changeup is really special, and he's been in the mid-90s at times with his fastball, but it's all about health for Tink Hence.
The prospects that the Cardinals received in the Brendan Donovan deal is Gerangelo Sancia, who is throws with both arms. And he's likely, at least from what we understand, not going to use both arms, or not throw with both arms. He'll have to use both of his arms, but he'll not throw with both hands at the big league level, though they're going to have him, I guess, on the side, do some work with the other hand just so he can stay in shape there. How do you feel about him? And then generally, how do you feel about prospects? And there are very, very few of them that are ambidextrous.
Yeah, this is really a rarity. I can't think of anybody else right now who I would rank as a top 30 prospect for any org who can do this, right? Like, this is just very strange and different, and it's a credit to him. Like, I think he's a natural lefty that throws better from the right side because he's had to work more at it. So the fact that the Mariners were talking about this literally the week of the trade, before the trade went down to send Brendan Donovan to Seattle, that they were going to put the left-hand stuff off to the side and just let him throw righty. And I think that actually adds to his upside because he's done so much to focus on being able to do both, right? Well, now what happens when, at least in games, you're only focused on throwing right-handed, you're focused on getting that stuff as sharp as possible. I think there's another gear to unlock for Durangelo St. And I'm excited to see what he can do. I mean, it's his second full season. It's a fastball, that gets plus grades, above average slider, decent changeup. If all of those pitches take another step there, that's a potential number 3 or 4 starter for the Cards.
So perhaps Rawlings won't have to get busy designing a glove that can fit on either hand.
I think they do have those, don't they?
I don't know.
Yeah,
they do. Oh, it's a little awkward, but it's funny how those work.
I've got oven mitts like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so power bats. We've got the young Baez in the system. How do the Cardinals look in terms of sluggers in the minor league system?
Yeah, I mean, Raniel Rodriguez, the catcher I brought up earlier, I think has the best chance for power moving forward. He gets to it really well. I mean, I brought up that double earlier. That's what he does. I mean, he hits the ball hard to the pull side, and as is consistently taught across the game now, that's how you're going to get your power in games. So if he's already doing this at 19 years old, it's so much easier to dream what he can do on the at full maturity when he's in his prime at 26, 27, 28. Joshua Baez is one of the most interesting developmental stories in all of minor league baseball to me. He was somebody who the Cardinals, for years were singing his praises. They really like the upside. He's big at 6'3", but can move decently well. The power, raw power is plus at least. He just struck out a ton. And you kind of had to put him off to the side when you're doing these rankings, because if you're not making contact at single A and high A, you're almost guaranteed not to do that at double A, triple A, and never get a crack at the majors. But to his credit, the Cardinals really went to him and said, hey, man, you have to figure this out. It is your 40-man roster decision year. You're either going to sink or swim. This is what needs to be figured out. And if you look at him hitting side by side, last year it was a lot more streamlined to the ball. It was a less noisy swing, more direct, and the contact rate really took off. I mean, it might be an average hit tool now. And with that, plus the power, it's a really interesting player. He's got a plus arm. He's a natural fit in right field. I know they have Jordan Walker there. He's going to get plenty of leash still. So Joshua Baez can go to AAA this year, maybe tear the cover off the ball and force the issue for St. Louis. But the fact that he's here now as a top 100 prospect, he's number 87 on our list, is a testament to how well he took to development and how much of a plan the Cardinals had for him going into last year.
So we have done here, as you can imagine, a lot of discussion about where the Cardinals farm system was, where their facilities ranked in terms of what they had, technology they had available for the development of players, and how they had really fallen behind in that area over the last several years. And they kind of let it get away from them and are making more progress to try and correct all of that. As far as you can tell, with what they have done at that level, how much better have they gotten just with the facilities and with, trying to help the development process for players where they had really let everybody else bypass them for so many years?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the stories of the spring down in Jupiter, right, is just the improvement of the facilities at Roger Dean Stadium on the Cardinals side, and getting pitching labs and getting, hitting data that just makes it's so much easier to understand what makes all of these prospects tick. What are their best attributes, and how can they pull that out of them? It's not a one-size-fits-all approach, nor should it be, honestly, with today's game. You have so many different body types, so many different ways guys move. Trying to put hey, we want everybody throwing a sinker, that's going to cause some guys to really struggle. And I think just the vocabulary of the Cardinals development, they brought over Robert Cerfolio last year, Larry Day from the Cleveland Guardians organization. Guardians are exceptional at development and internal development. And you can really see how it's changed and how the ways guys talk. Guys like Joshua Baez taking off, JJ Weatherholt, maybe even improving on what we saw in West Virginia. Yeah, they had some guys scuffle, like Quinn Matthews, who used to be a top 100 prospect, but in many cases it was arrows up in the Cardinals system now. And a lot of that has to do with the guys they brought in. Obviously, Chaim Bloom is now going to be even more focused on player development, and just the access to facilities that they have there at Roger Dean. It's only going to help them not only now, but years to come.
Yeah, a real emphasis on power pitching arms in these acquisitions that as the Cardinals have dealt off some of their assets, and they brought in these power arms. Looking across Major League Baseball, what's the average hit rate for, say you got a half a dozen pitchers that throw 98, 100 miles an hour? How many of those guys actually make it?
That's a good question. I wish I had an exact number for you off the top of my head. I mean, it's different, right? Like Major League, I grew up, in the 90s and 2000s, and I remember a fastball that was 95. You would get the flame marker on the screen because everybody thought 95 was throwing hard. Now the Major League average is 93, 94. So if guys are throwing 98, it's not the same 98 that it used to be. And just having that pitch isn't enough. I mean, overall, is it going to give you enough? The availability to make the majors if you're throwing 98 over 95, sure. But you need command. You're not just going to be throwing it all over the shop with 98. There's so much more that you need to do. So somebody like Brandon Clark, who they brought in from the Red Sox in the Sonny Gray trade, who unfortunately is down now with a shoulder injury. But he was 95, 98 with a pair of fastballs last year, and he's got a really, really good breaker beyond that. So the fastball is not enough anymore. You have to have that plus slider that he has. And I'm really interested to see, once he's healthy, what the Cardinals can do to maybe unlock another step for him.
Every time I see Major League, every time the movie's on and I watch the part where they're in camp and Rick Vaughn is throwing pitches and he throws the fastball and breaks the sign because he's wild, and they marvel at the fact he threw it 96. Like, how fast was that? 96. And everybody goes, oh my God, 96. And now dudes are throwing 105. It's funny to me to think back on that, because that's,
and part of the concern, right, is that we are hitting like what the capabilities are of the human body. We are seeing guys break down more than ever. Like if you're throwing 100, but it's leading to Tommy John or it's leading to shoulder problems, but it's getting you a shot at the majors, it's so much of what guys have to balance now. Like I know people are like, oh, why don't you go back to throwing 88, 89 with command? Well, guess what? That's being taken 420 out to left center every time now. Like batters have improved too. So you need that quality of stuff.
Sam Dykstra, we love the information. Thank you for talking with us today, and we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys.
Sam Dykstra, minor league reporter for MLB Pipeline, contributes to MLB Network. So, while this might be a pretty thin season for the Cardinals at the big league level, and you think they might do better than the projections.
I'm excited to see this. Finally, I think the organization is doing it the right way.
Yeah, and I think that what they've done with these prospects, the fact they've collected quite a few good ones, and at least one of them will graduate this year to the big leagues. The fact that they have done work there and gotten that talent and are doing better with facilities and training.
All of it.
The future should be a whole lot better for them.
Agreed.
Now it's up to them, once they graduate those guys, to help them out. That means, supplement that talent at the big league level when it's time.
Yeah, I mean,
this isn't the time yet, but there will be a time soon.
You've got to have a starting rotation that's upper echelon in order to go deep into the playoffs, and we're not there yet.
It's Chris and Amy show on KMOX. John Hancock is in today.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. Everyone knows we need to do what we can to protect our eyesight. That includes finding the right eye doctor. For 30 years, I've been recommending the doctors' doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranj Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. I'm one of their patients, and so are my wife, daughter, son, and sister. These doctors and their technicians spend a lot of time with their patients. They're expert at cataracts, multifocal lenses, and light adjustable lenses. And if you're experiencing dry eye, don't hesitate to make that appointment. Dry eye, if not treated properly, can cause harm that's difficult to reverse. For excellent eye care, do what I do. Call the doctor's doctors at 314-966-5000 and visit one of their offices in St. Louis, St. Charles, and Sullivan, and at yourEyeDoc.com.
Every spring brings promises, and every spring delivers surprises. This year, the Cardinals are writing a new story, and there will be plenty of surprises. Matt Pauley is in Jupiter with inside access to Camp Cardinals.
Presented by St. Louis Composting. Composting, growing gardens and making memories. And Happy Roof. We always create happy endings.
From breakout performances to roster revelations, get reports throughout the day on the voice of the Cardinals. KMOX.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis. a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
If snow and cold has you thinking spring, why don't you do something constructive and call Chesterfield Fence and Deck? Let this be the year that you have that beautiful outdoor space that you've always wanted. Whether you're talking about a new deck, a patio, a pergola, they do all of it. And of course, fences as well, sunrooms, screen rooms. You can visit their beautiful showroom in the Chesterfield Valley. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best since 1968. All of their products are guaranteed by a 5-year labor warranty, comprehensive material warranties provided. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Now, if you're looking for the rock bottom cheapest price, Chesterfield Fence and Deck is not it. What they are is the company that guarantees their work and has been doing great work for 57 years. Quality work that will last for a long, long time. So you can enjoy your outdoor space for years to come. If you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. ChesterfieldFence.com.
Race car drivers like NASCAR champion Jesse Love are a lot like commercial drivers. Pros, but even the best watch the tape to see what they missed and get better next time. The Samsara driving coach does the same for your fleet, giving drivers real-time feedback to build safer habits. Samsara's AI uses billions of miles of real driving data to help fleets prevent accidents and protect drivers.
If it makes me a better driver, it'll make your fleet unstoppable.
Because even champions need a coach. Learn more at Samsara.com.
I got you something extra special for Valentine's Day.
Yeah?
How does a blow and go sound?
I like it.
Great. Air Comfort Service will be here on Monday.
Wait, what?
Our attic insulation is in bad shape. Air Comfort Service heating and cooling and insulation can top off our insulation with blow and go and make our home more energy efficient. We can save up to 30% on our energy bills.
I love it when you talk savings to me.
Schedule your blow and go attic insulation from Air Comfort Service. Visit aircomfortservice.com/blow today.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at KMOX.
John Hancock is having some difficulty recovering money that he's paid to St. Louis County because he overpaid his property tax.
Paid it twice.
Paid it twice.
And then once it came to my attention that I'd paid it twice, which just another sign that I'm getting old, I picked up the phone, Raj, and I called the St. Louis County Department of Revenue at 314-516-1500 and hit number 3 to talk to a representative. They didn't answer for an hour.
And you can't get a hold of anybody.
I call them again. They didn't answer. I call them again. They didn't answer. So then I went online and I found an email address, collector at stlouiscounty.mo.gov. And I sent an email to the collector of revenue explaining the fact that I had paid my personal property taxes twice. And to this day, I have not heard a peep from anyone.
And you cannot get through to anybody.
Nobody picks up the phone.
Well, texter here says you've just made a loan to St. Louis County, so congratulations.
Well,
on
they
that.
need to be paying me interest. You know, if I don't pay my taxes on time, I got to pay interest to the government.
Good luck collecting any interest, says this texter. The Missouri Department of Revenue is just as bad, and the counties all follow suit.
I mean, this is ridiculous. You know, I'm paying these people.
We have a voice message from Laura.
Oh.
John, it's the same way with Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's the same way with Mercy. It's the same way with BJC. I spent better over 2 hours yesterday going round and round on why my well visit was charged $285 when I should be getting that for free through my Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Well,
you should be getting it for free. This is an outrage.
Every company I've ever seen is really good at collecting money, not as good as paying it out.
That's exactly right.
This texter says maybe you should just go in person and find somebody to speak to.
Yes, that might be an option. But if nobody's answering the phone, how can I know that anybody will actually be in the office?
Another texter says just move to Franklin County because their website doesn't allow you to pay twice.
Well, there you go.
You didn't think of that, did you?
Got to put the house on the market.
Got to put the house on the market and move to a completely different county.
Franklin County's got some lovely. Washington, Missouri.
Well, you better go there. You won't have to overpay.
There you go.
That's what I hear.
I'm in.
When we come back, White House correspondent for the Bulwark, Andrew will join the show. Man, there's a lot happening. State of the Union is tonight. The Olympic and the FBI director was in the locker room for some reason. There's a lot to talk about with Andrew Egger, and that is next on KMOX.
And Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, I think this is going to be a strange season for real estate. Just kind of feel it in my gut. What can people do apropos of their mortgage to put themselves in a better position to get that house?
You know what, Dave, that's a great question. There's a bidding wars that are going to happen this spring. You want to get the house. This is how you're going to make things better. Number one, we give you the power of the pre-approval letter. That means you can go into our portal and generate the letter and edit it for any amount you want up to the amount you're approved without chasing the loan officer. Number two, the bagel loan, no closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, no appraisal fees. It's a bagel. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. Add that money you would normally pay onto your bid and beat the other offers out. And you know what? The third thing is we can close fast. 10 days. They're going to look away at the other offers because most lenders take as much as 30 days to get done.
You can call or text Stewie at his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or you can Google the bagel loan in MLS 226715.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
I was ordering food from our usual place for the big meeting. My VP said, "Please, God, no."
For workplaces suffering with corporate catering deficiency, every day's a struggle.
The food was always meh and over budget. Before Easy Cater, I thought that was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat CCD with a huge variety of restaurants, help meet dietary needs, and stay on budget. Use daily. One platform lets you save time and thrive. Ask your web browser about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
At 11 o'clock, we have cloudy skies, 38 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. Our top story this morning, after a report of a person with a weapon, WashU has now issued an all clear on the Danforth campus. Let's get the latest from our Maria Kina. Maria?
Megan, I've spoken with campus police. They say this was a non-credible threat. Now, as a precaution, the entire campus was put on lockdown. Students were told to shelter in place while they checked all of the buildings. I'm in the original staging area, which is right off of Forsyth. Now, we've been told there's going to be a press briefing. There's no time being given. But again, the good news is this was a non-credible threat on the campus of Washington University for a potential shooter. We will keep you posted throughout the afternoon hours with the latest information. Live on the Danforth WashU campus, Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Thank you, Maria. Tonight's State of the Union address will almost certainly be raucous, but what will the president's actual message be? A leading House Republican and a Democratic senator spoke to CBS News about what they expect from the speech.
Senator Alyssa Slotkin says, try as he may, the president won't be able to convince Americans he's lowered prices.
The American people aren't stupid. They know that they are spending more this year than they did last year.
House Majority Leader Steve Scalise says the president will show he's focused on costs.
We had a lot of mess to mop up during those 4 years of high costs, and they're coming down in the right direction, but they're not where we want them to be. And we're going to keep working to bring more job creation, to bring more wage growth.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
We'll get analysis of the State of the Union address from John Shaw, director of the Paul Simon Public Policy Institute, tomorrow morning at 8:10 here on Total Information AM. Savannah Guthrie says her family is offering a reward of up to $1 million now for recovery of their mother, Nancy. Guthrie says the family understands their mom may not be alive, but they're holding on to hope. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti reports.
24 days in, we're now in week 4 of this search effort. And still, it does not seem like there is a credible lead that has generated any name or names, and more importantly, specifically to the Guthrie family, the whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie.
Wednesday, Disability Rights Legislative Day in Jefferson City. Kathy Brown with Easter Seals Midwest says there's a lot they're concerned about right now.
The governor recommended some pretty significant cuts to 2 very important programs for people with disabilities and their families. Those are self-directed services and also day services, which provide support to people with disabilities so they can have a safe, productive, and meaningful day.
Additionally, she says the General Assembly and local communities are looking at shrinking local funding too, so people with disabilities are under threat from multiple directions right now. Brown adds there's no insurance policy to purchase or alternative for people, and there's no safety net to the safety net. From the KMOX business desk, Ford recalling 413,000 SUVs because they may lose steering control. Here's WWJ's Jeff Gilbert.
There have been 2 crashes, but no injuries connected to the issue with 2017 through 19 Ford Explorers. Corrosion can cause the rear suspension toe link to fracture. Owners would notice a loud noise or unusual handling. Dealers will replace the faulty part.
Clouds and some sunshine and turning warmer this afternoon with a gusty wind and a high of 56, and mostly cloudy tonight, though 36. Clouds and some sunshine tomorrow, the high 55. Cloudy to start Thursday, then becoming mostly sunny in the afternoon, high 56. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cloudy skies now, 38 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Chris and Amy Show, Hour 3. But today it's John Hancock with me, Chris Ranji. Final hour, and then we will have Gas House Gang at 12. Bernie, Tom, me. We'll check in with Matt Pauley, who is live at spring training, and plenty to talk about. Billikens play tonight, by the way.
They do, and so does our Missouri Tigers play tonight. And by the way, let me just point out that it is a wonderful thing that we have elected officials in this country, because elected officials have to be responsive to their people. And I have heard from St. Louis County Councilman Dennis Hancock, no relation, who was listening on the radio, and he is going to engage his staff to get a response to me from the St. Louis County Department of Revenue. And to Councilman Dennis Hancock, I say, thank you.
Well, John, it's a good thing you were on the show today.
Yes.
Because if you weren't on this show, you'd still be wondering where your money is.
That phone would be ringing.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, somebody is on it, and I hope they've lost it. So we usually at this time, or around this time, talk to Andrew Egger, White House correspondent for The Bulwark, and he is with us now. He is also the co-author of the Morning Shots newsletter, which you should subscribe to. Andrew joins us. How's it going, sir? Not hearing Andrew at the moment. Should we try again? Do we have him or not?
Technical difficulties. Please
hear-
stand by.
I hear technical. It's weird. I hear him off in the distance, but
He
he's
may
not
be
actually on
he may
the
be
air.
attempting to call the St. Louis County Department of Revenue.
Well, okay. See, that's the problem.
Call me on my phone.
Oh, there he is.
All
Got him.
right.
Can you hear
Andrew
me?
Egger.
Can I- am I
Yes.
heard? Hello?
You've
How are you?
never sounded better.
How you doing?
Ah, yes. What a relief.
So let's
Hey,
guys. Hey Andrew, it's good to have you on. Andrew, a St. Louis native, is with us now and every week. And so tonight is the State of the Union address. I'm not exactly sure where to start here because it is it's, I don't know if you know this or not, but we are divided as a nation. And there are some Democrats who are going to opt out of the State of the Union. They're going to a separate event. And they are calling that event the People's State of the Union. There are Democrats who are going to be bringing along Jeffrey Epstein survivors. So what do you think will happen tonight, and how do you feel about some of these members opting out?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately sort of like a long-standing trend now, the sort of like gradual, long breakdown of just sort of normal decorum at the State of the Union. Obviously, it wasn't all that long ago that a member of Congress, for instance, heckling the president was like a major multi-day scandal. It could like define a person's political career. Now that sort of thing happens more frequently than more often than not, I guess is the way to put it. You see more of these stunts, on both sides of the aisle. You've seen it in recent years. It's all a little bit theatrical, but the whole thing is a little bit theatrical, right? I mean, it's sort of like a night of political pageantry. It's a night when the whole country sort of tunes in, or at least a much greater share of the country tunes in than typically does. So it's sort of like the biggest spotlight for basically everybody involved, to sort of like get some of those good visuals, get some of those good lines in. Obviously, we're going to see that from the president tonight. He's expected to talk for quite some time. He has said it's a very long speech. His speech last year was longer than any previously given State of the Union address, even though the first speech of a president's term is not technically considered a State of the Union address, so it didn't technically break the record. We'll see if he breaks that record tonight. But yes, on the Democratic side, we are expecting to see some pretty obvious displays of discontent with the way things are going right now in some of the ways that you described.
My button was not working.
Now
my button is working. Everything is working now. A lot of the pre-information that's come out about the speech tonight indicates that the president's going to focus particularly on the economy. What do you expect to hear?
Well, this is the big question, right? Because the president's basic economic message got really upended, or at least it got dealt a major blow just a few days ago when the Supreme Court overturned one of the big economic tentpoles of his entire agenda of his first year back in office, which was these tariffs, these Liberation Day tariffs that he put on basically every country in the world back in April. Some of the rates have gone up, some of the rates have gone down, but the Supreme Court threw them all out just a few days ago as unconstitutional. And now the president is trying to put some of those back in place. Nobody really knows what the state of global trade is going to look like tomorrow or the next day or the next day. And so he's in this difficult place from a messaging point of view where there were already a lot of sort of affordability and economic concerns just out in the general public that his advisors had been impressing on him more and more in recent months. You really need to address people's concerns here. You really need to talk to people about the economy. It's not like the economy has been awful, but it certainly has not been sort of growing in the sort of golden age leaps and bounds that he had promised in terms of inflation coming down and jobs going up. Jobs were pretty stagnant throughout much of last year. People still have concerns about high prices, things like that. And so one thing he had been saying all along is sort of trust the process. These tariffs are going to do what I'm saying they're going to do. They're going to make us rich. They're going to make America hot. They're going to make everybody really, really happy. We just got to wait for them to work. Now it's a little harder for him to make that message because a lot of these tariffs are gone. He can't really just say, blame the Supreme Court. Don't blame me if things don't go well, because he's the president. People ultimately see that the buck stops with him for a lot of these things. So that's the big question, is like, can he sketch out some sort of forward-looking talk on the economy here, or will he mostly be dwelling on sort of these grievances against the Supreme Court and against his political enemies and these folks when it comes to the economy tonight?
With Andrew Egger here on KMOX, and with the speech tonight, I imagine that people are sort of moving away from the Olympic hockey thing? And I know that people have been talking a lot about Kash Patel being there in the locker room, pounding beers and wondering how that happened or why that happened, why he was invited, and whether or not that trip was solely about that instead of there being some sort of security conference, which he says is why he was in Milan. What do you are people moving away from that? Or are they still pretty focused on what happened? And what is your opinion of it?
I mean, ultimately, it's not that important of a story in the grand scheme of things. It's a very funny story. I mean, like it's pretty transparent. Kash Patel, he's a hockey fan. He tweeted out 8 months ago or something. He's like, I'll see you guys over there in Milan. So he has been planning to go to the Olympics for quite some time. The FBI director always has to take the FBI jet when he goes anywhere. That's just standard procedure. Obviously, that costs some taxpayer money. He reimburses a little of it when he uses it for personal travel, certainly not all the costs that are involved. That's kind of okay. I mean, the FBI director is allowed to take personal travel within reason at his discretion. Kash Patel has used it a lot more than most. I mean, there have been a lot of stories like this over the last number of months. Him going to see his girlfriend, who's a country singer, perform in Nashville. Now going over to sort of yuck it up with the men's hockey team over there. The weird thing about this is, one, it's sort of an unforced error. You might expect that some people up higher in the administration would be like, hey, look, this is not a very good look for us. Maybe hold off, maybe hold back a little bit. We plainly have not seen that. There was no directive from Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, to Kash Patel after those earlier news stories about his travel to say, hey, maybe cool it, maybe don't go to Milan, maybe don't be caught on a lot of live streams celebrating in the room. And then the other thing has been the really forcible pushback from his press office, basically calling all of this stuff fake news, saying that, we can't believe you would insinuate that he's over there to watch the Olympics, when he himself tweeted that he would be over there to watch the Olympics months before any of these other supposed meetings were scheduled. And that like this is all some fake news media controversy. It's not the biggest story in the world, but it is a fair question whether this is a good use of U.S. taxpayer dollars to get the FBI director over there, to get his whole retinue and all those people over there, and just a good use of his time as a guy who's running a pretty important federal law enforcement agency. But obviously it's not front of mind. I don't expect the president to bring it up in the speech tonight.
We are enjoying our weekly visit with Andrew Egger. He's the White House correspondent and co-author of the Morning Shots newsletter for The Bulwark. He's joining us via Zoom this morning. One of the stories, there's so many from the White House, but is the matter of this $10 billion lawsuit that Donald Trump and his kids have filed against the federal government because of what he says was the illegal releasing of his income tax information. Is this thing going to happen?
Well, that's the question, right? I mean, I think it's fair to say not just that he says it was an illegal release. I mean, the leak was not legal. I mean, it was sort of a illicit distribution of records that should have remained classified at the IRS, not just Trump's, but a number of prominent tax returns there. So it's not like he doesn't have a real beef about that. He's perfectly within his rights to be unhappy that it happened. I think what a lot of people correctly point out about this is sort of the self-dealing nature of it. I mean, the president is bringing this lawsuit against his own IRS. His own IRS is going to have to, and his own Treasury Department are going to have to defend it against his lawsuit. And in theory, should make the government's best case that the government should not have to hand over this money. But as we have repeatedly seen all through the Trump administration, there is no wall of even the appearance of political separation or political independence between any of the agencies and the president himself. Not that the Treasury Department has ever been like a particularly independent agency. It's not like the Justice Department or something like that. It's there to implement the president's economic policy. But the idea that the president would be specifically seeking this money and that Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, would be working really hard to prevent him from getting it. Nobody really thinks that's the way this is going to work, right? And so the basic thing you boil it down to is, doesn't this basically amount to the president just helping himself to $10 billion of cash from the government?
I mean, it's $10 billion.
And maybe it won't happen. Like it could not happen. I mean, it could. He could decide it's not worth the squeeze. He has said, oh, no, people shouldn't worry about this because, I'd give it to charity, which is just very, I mean, it's kind of like a funny way to just be like, oh, don't worry about it. It's going to a good cause. First of all, you'd have to believe that that's true. But second of all, I mean, it seems like the exact opposite of, for instance, what we were up to with Doge a year ago, where we were cutting off a lot of government monies going to NGOs and private charities because that didn't seem like a good application of taxpayer dollars. So just the idea that oh, well, these Treasury dollars could be better used, at a charity of Donald Trump's choice. I think a lot of people are right to be a little confused by that.
So we also saw some testimony yesterday from an ICE official who resigned earlier in the month because his job was instructing recruits, and he is saying that the training for them is deficient, defective, and broken. And it seems like it is intentionally so. I don't imagine anything will come of this because they're already getting a ton of money and expected to get a whole lot more money from this administration. But what does this mean? What does this say when you've got this guy who's blowing the whistle on it?
Yeah, so this is a super interesting story. This is a guy who, first of all, but before this even happened, he was one of the 2 whistleblowers who came forward and revealed that ICE had quietly changed its policies to no longer require a judicial warrant to enter people's homes to make immigration arrests. That was a really sort of shocking revelation to a lot of people. It drove a lot of news about a month ago now. And ICE admitted after he and this other guy came forward with these whistleblower allegations, ICE admitted that it had in fact made this policy change, that it was now making these home arrests not with judicial warrants, but just with administrative warrants that an ICE agent himself would be able to sign. So a much, much, much lower bar to be able to enter homes and make arrests. So there's a certain amount of baked in credibility there. The allegation that he came forward with has already been substantiated in that way. The other piece of the puzzle here is that we are right in the middle of a real funding fight over DHS in particular. The whole federal government is funded right now, except for the Department of Homeland Security. It is still partially funded. It got a lot of money in the One Big Beautiful Bill last year. But as far as its normal sort of appropriations budget is concerned, just sort of the normal year over year funding, that is lapsed right now. It's been lapsed for a couple of weeks. And Democrats are digging in their heels and they're saying, look, we are not going to let you fund DHS until you put some new restraints around the way ICE is doing business right now. And it's stuff like they can't wear masks. They have to wear ID. They have to wear a clearly identifiable, uniform that lets you know what agency they belong to. They can't conduct these indiscriminate sweeps. They have to sort of know who they're arresting as they're arresting them. Make targeted enforcement operations. It's a lot of stuff like that. They have to wear body cams, and they can't use the body cams to sort of like compile a panopticon type list of known protesters and things like that. These are their basic asks. And Democrats think that they have enough sort of political will on their side, enough momentum here that they can actually sort of dig in a way that they didn't even during the last shutdown. So I would not necessarily agree that there will be no change along these lines. But just to get back to what you brought up originally, this is a big part of sort of the Democratic critique right now. It's not that ICE is like an illegal agency in and of itself, right? I mean, they are the body under good circumstances that is charged with enforcing a bunch of our immigration laws. That should happen. The critique is that because of the enormous swollen amount of new money that has been given to ICE to staff up wildly, to bring in a bunch of new recruits, and specifically with this whistleblower allegation, because of the cuts that have been made to ICE training and to the amount that the sort of time and attention that's put toward bringing new agents and officers up to speed, that a lot of people are going out on the streets. This is the allegation from Democrats and from these whistleblowers, that a lot of people are going out on the streets basically just unprepared to serve in an effective and transparent way that is respectful toward the civil rights of the people that's around them. So that's another element in all this as Democrats are trying to get some reforms to ICE in the days and weeks ahead.
Andrew, thank you. We will talk next week.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Andrew Egger, White House correspondent for The Bulwark, every Tuesday or every Monday, usually with us. But he is with us weekly on KMOX.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about 213 Complex, and you can pick that up at supplement superstores. And quite simply, 213 Complex is the most effective and powerful all-natural weight loss supplement ever developed. Here's what it's doing for me and what it'll do for you. Boost the metabolism, gets it working at full go all the time. Helps with cravings, and man, that's a big deal for me. All-day focus energy with no jitters, no crash at the end of the day. It's a great tool for achieving your goals. Get out to supplement superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will knock 30% off your 213 Complex, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX. I got John Hancock today, who's in with me. Amy will be back tomorrow.
That's what they say.
Well, yeah, I guess you never really know with her. She's a difficult lady to pin down. We don't know where she is, what she does, why she has all this extra time off. It's astounding. Gas House Gang happens at 12. Bernie, Tom, and me. Matt Pauley will check in from Cardinals spring training.
Lovely.
We'll be talking to you ahead of a Billikens game tonight. We should let you know that at 4:55 on 11:20 a.m., you can hear Cardinals baseball. So it'll be the Cardinals and the Nationals today in Grapefruit League. And then At 5:45 on 104.1 FM, the Billikens will play. They are at Dayton. Hey, I got a good one for you, John.
Yeah, bring it.
So every year, at least for the last several years, Chicago does the city does a contest with voters, and they allow people to submit names for snowplows.
Yes.
So we talked about the submissions that happened about a week or
now,
two
is this
ago.
every snowplow or one particular snowplow?
They name a handful.
Okay.
They name a handful.
All right.
And so people had offered a bunch of entries. There were 13,000 entries and then 39,000 voters.
Wow.
The number one vote getter was Abolish Ice.
Oh.
Which is it's a fantastic nickname for a snowplow.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
Pope Frio the 14th.
Wow.
The Blizzard of Oz. And Caleb Chilliams. You like that one?
Yeah, I do like that one.
Caleb, why don't we do? Well, I guess we don't have enough snowplows to name, do we?
Well, I think they just bought some. I think Mayor Spencer bought some to go on the side streets for once.
Yeah, they have to contract people who have plows on their trucks. What prompts a person to just buy a plow for their truck?
Well, I mean, you get snow out there. My neighbor down the street, God bless him.
Is this a good? I mean,
he brought his little snowblower over when we had that 8 inches of snow.
How many people? I don't know.
What?
It seems like a pretty big purchase to just buy a plow for your truck.
Well, I mean, you know what? When you need one, you have one.
I guess.
And sometimes you need one.
How much does a plow cost?
To fit on the front of your truck?
Yeah.
It's probably not all that much.
No.
I think probably, I don't know, $1,200.
Frank Ladd says they do it to look cool.
Well, there is that. I mean, there's nothing like dropping that plow down.
You don't just leave the plow on your truck all the time, right?
You could. It's not illegal, as far as I know.
I don't think it would be illegal.
You know, and you got a plow right there, and it's snow. There might be a deer. You just take that deer and
scoop up.
Yeah, scoop that sucker up and toss it off on the side of the road there.
I'm always fascinated when there is a deer who's been hit by a car and it's on the side of the highway. So somebody pushes it off to the side, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And then do they go, like, who picks it up?
Animal control.
Animal control.
One of the more responsive parts of our local government.
Do you know, I just assumed that animal control only dealt with live animals.
No, buddy.
They go deal with the dead ones.
Well,
too?
you got the possums out there. You got the
yeah, I know.
deer and
I just kind of figured they would take the animals that were causing issues because there were too many of them. I didn't think they would go dispatch of the dead ones on the side of the road.
We had a raccoon. We had a raccoon in the attic years ago, and called animal control. The guy came over, and the guy had it looked like a hazmat suit. It was almost an armor around him with a big thing on his head, his head to toe. He's got all this protection. He goes up, he gets the raccoon, takes his stuff off, and he's got a award badge on his sleeve. And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Well, I've never been bitten."
Oh, see?
Wow.
You don't want to get bitten by those things.
You do not.
All right. So, Amos Tanuma, I have bad news for you.
What?
Amos Tanuma, who is the CEO of Better Experience Group, and he authored the book called Hold, The Suffering Economy of Customer Service.
Oh, yes, that Amos Tanuma.
Yeah, well, you had your customer service issue.
I did.
St. Louis County.
Yes.
He was going to join the show, and it turns out we had the date wrong.
Oh.
So
he'll be here on Thursday.
He's going to be here on Thursday.
Amos Tanuma. I will be... Please don't worry about it.
I had the wrong Amos Tanuma for today.
Yeah.
Well, do we have a different Amos Tanuma?
There's, Amos Tanuma. I think I ordered that one.
So Amos is not going to be around to help you out with your customer service issue, I am sorry to say.
He'll be here Thursday, though.
And John will probably be filling in that day, too.
You just never know what's going to happen around this place.
We have different messengers here. This message from Chris, who is watching on YouTube, who says a snow plow is $4,500.
Oh.
And last snow, he says, he made $8,300, so he's paid for it already.
See there? That's entrepreneurism right there. I love that about
Good
America.
job, Chris.
What a country this is.
Good job, Chris. It is the Chris and Amy Show. John Hancock and I, we are going to be with you for the next 29 minutes before the Gas House Gang on KMOX.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. You know, there are real things to talk about amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
The Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union 1, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
39 degrees in St. Louis, and it is cloudy out there. We're going to have a high of 53, and tonight, overnight, a low of 35. The weather brought to you by Meadowview Memory Care.
Discover Meadowview Memory Care in Arnold, a small, secure community on a beautiful campus. Enjoy peace of mind with all our inclusive rates and comfortable private suites. Schedule your tour today at rspseniorliving.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Start your summer early at the St. Charles Boat Show, March 5th through 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. The top marine dealers from the Lake of the Ozarks will be on site with the newest boats, personal watercraft, docks, and accessories. Step aboard, compare models, and find the perfect ride for your family. Special show pricing and experts ready to help make your boating dreams a reality. Visit lakeoftheozarksboatdealers.com for more information.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
It's exhibition preseason baseball today as the Cards take on the Nationals. Pre-game 4:55, first pitch 5:05, and you can hear the game on 11:20 a.m. KMOX, the voice of the Cardinals.
NCAA tournament is coming up.
It is.
It is just less than a month away, and there will be a first and second round sessions that
Right
happen
here.
here in St. Louis, right at Enterprise Center, March 20th and March 22nd.
Sweet.
So that is the Friday, Sunday session. So looking forward to it. And, you know, hopefully all the stars will align and St. Louis can be here. The Billikens could be here.
Illinois could be here.
Illinois, I think Illinois will end up here as long as they maintain their
Right.
high seed, which they probably will. So we thought, and we every year on this show, John, we put together a tournament.
Yes, you do.
Around tournament time.
Sometimes at great controversy.
It's a huge controversy. We had a sandwich. We had the Sandwich Pascando,
right,
from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We have done pizza.
Yeah.
We did the most St. Louis things in our Field of 64-40 tournament.
Yeah, the Arch won that one, didn't it?
Did the Arch win?
I don't remember that one, to be honest.
We can't remember.
I can't remember.
I remember the pizza controversy, though. Do you remember that? There were 2 Alfonso's pizzas.
Oh, that's right.
And then we had to do a tiebreaker, I guess, at the end, and the Alfonso's in Troy, Illinois won.
Yep. Alfonso's in Troy, and there was another one not too far away from there. So there were a couple of different Alfonso's. So our goal here is to not have any controversy.
Wait. Not owned by the same people?
Correct.
So you have a restaurant named Alfonso's.
And spelled differently, too.
Oh, well, they're okay. That's the answer to my question.
Yeah. So we are going to try this year very hard to not have controversies. Here's what we've decided to do.
All right.
And we are in the submission stage. So the selection committee has yet to get together to decide who will be in our tournament of the best bars in the St. Louis area.
Oh.
So we are looking for your submissions of what your favorite bar is in the St. Louis area. And then we are going to have the selection committee get together and put the field together, and we'll hopefully have a
64
champion.
64 bars in the field.
We are looking for 64 bars.
And what about chains? Are chains allowed, like a Bar Louie?
You can submit whatever you want to submit. The selection committee has to go through the process here. So tell us what your best bar is. You can do so on Twitter at ChrisAmyKMOX. We have a tweet up about it. You can find that tweet and respond to it, or you can just tweet at us. You can text us at 314-436-7900. Those are probably the best ways to submit the bar that you think should win in the field of 64.
What's that cool little tiny dark bar there at the Cheshire Inn? What's that thing called?
The Fox and the Hound?
Yes, the Fox and the Hound. It's a
spot.
lovely place.
Is it Basso downstairs?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Is Fox and Hound next to it?
Yeah,
Or is it-
but upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just a quaint. It's like walking into London.
Yeah.
You know?
I
With the Fox and the
remember
Hound.
the old Cheshire Inn when there was that little bar there.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the same bar.
Has to be.
It was just called Cheshire, if I remember right. And you know who I ran into? Tom Ackerman.
Tom Ackerman.
I was 21 years old, so Tom must have been 22.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Tom Ackerman. I was interning at the station.
Oh, so that's you.
So I knew him.
You knew Tom Ackerman.
Yeah,
and
so
there
I
he was at the Cheshire.
Ran into him out and about.
Huh.
He was out having a good time. I was out having a good time. So
see there.
Yeah,
how was your internship here? Did you think that, I'll be back?
No. Well, I didn't know. I interned on the weekends mostly.
Yeah.
I interned for Dan McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Because he was hosting Sports Open Line. It was prior to Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had done maybe a little Blues stuff on TV at the time, but not like play-by-play. I think it was more
and at that time,
reporting or something along those lines.
At that time, was KMOX carrying the Cardinals? Because there was that little interval where
1998.
Yeah.
So yeah, we still had the Cardinals.
We still did. Okay.
Yeah. And so what I got to do basically was when there was a home game, I would just go over to the stadium and take a recorder and a mic and go to the locker room and be amazed that I was there.
That
was
cool. That had to be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. So I interned at that time, and then Tom was he was like a year or two into the job.
Uh-huh.
He was working in the sports department. So anyway, we need you to submit your bars. Submit your bars to us.
All right.
Let us know. And then we'll put the field together.
How would one
next
go about
month.
submitting a bar?
Well, John, all you have to do is text the show at 314-436-7900 or tweet at us. You should be following us too.
At Chris and Amy.
At Chris Amy KMOX.
No and.
Correct.
At Chris Amy KMOX.
At Chris Amy KMOX. You can tweet at us there and let us know what the best bar in the St. Louis area is. All right?
Yeah. 64 seems like a lot.
Well, they've probably got 2,000 bars here.
Do you think we have that many bars?
How many bars in St. Louis?
I mean, are you counting restaurants that have bars?
Look, just submit the bar.
Because you go into
Submit the damn bar, and then we're gonna-
Tucker's place and they got a bar right there.
that may or may not make it because there might be 64 better bars than Tucker's.
So are there food requirements? If more of your business is food, are you disqualified from being a bar, or does most of your business have to be beverages?
We are going with what I think people mostly identify as a bar.
So now we're identifying as a bar.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
It's not a case where you either are a bar or you're not a bar.
You might have both.
You
have
can
a bar and a
identify
restaurant.
as a bar, and now all of a sudden you're a bar.
That's right.
Even though
That's how it works today. Don't you know?
Yeah, I guess. Even though you're out there serving, 75% of your revenue is food. No,
it's how people see you.
You identify as a
Well, no,
bar.
how do people view you? Do they look at you as a bar or not?
Well, that's not in the eye of the beholder. Apparently, it's in the eye of the establishment.
No, it's in the eye of the beholder.
I don't know, man.
If people view you as a bar,
we've already got controversy. I think this is a bad
isn't
idea.
controversial at all. I think this is a very
bad
simple
idea.
concept to understand.
I think there needs to be a bar top in the restaurant or bar.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all have bar tops.
So that it's a bar. Yeah.
My grandpa had the coolest bar at his pool hall. I mean, it had lions' heads carved on the
Well,
edge.
you can't submit it because nobody knows about it and nobody cares.
No, it's not in
It's
St.
gotta be-
Louis. It's not in
got-
St.
where
Louis.
is it?
It was in Rolla, Missouri.
Yeah, it doesn't
Hancock's
count.
Billiards.
You've got to. I think the biggest
Ninth and
controversy.
Pine.
The biggest controversy will be what do you consider to be St. Louis area? Because you get far enough out.
Yeah.
We're not. I mean, we're getting past Wentzville. I don't know if that's St. Louis area.
DeSoto? Is DeSoto considered St.
How
Louis?
far
area?
is DeSoto?
That's a ways.
45 minutes.
I don't know.
It's down south in Jefferson County.
Well,
DeSoto, home of former Governor Jay Nixon.
oh, okay. Well, maybe he can submit a bar.
Yeah.
If he wants.
They
to.
might own a bar, the family down there.
So
we probably have some bar owners listening to us right this moment.
What? Oh, I'm sure there better not be. They better be at work. It's 11:40. You got to
Yeah.
get your bar ready for service.
What time do bars open? I mean, if you're not a restaurant.
It depends. Some of the bars, actually a lot of them, all over the country, and it happened here too. A bunch of bars in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
They opened at like 6:30
For the hockey game.
for the hockey game on Sunday.
But that's not the norm.
That's not the norm.
Because, a bar, I guess, has to be open for lunch.
And
although people don't drink at lunch like they used to. Remember the old 3 martini lunch that they used to have? That doesn't happen anymore.
it's not the 60s, is it?
No.
And, okay, so one of those bars that does open pretty regularly early
Yeah.
for soccer matches, we mentioned the Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I would almost guarantee
Oh, they'll be-
Amsterdam will make its way
They'll
up.
be on
That's a
there.
big time
What's
bar
that place that Jagow goes to watch the Buffalo Bills?
Shamrock Pub.
The Shamrock.
Shamrock.
Pub. There's
Might be.
another one.
It could be.
Huh.
Yeah. So submit your bar. Which bar is the best bar in the St. Louis area?
And that would include, I guess, bar and grill, right?
Sure.
Bar and grill could be a bar, even though it's a bar and a grill.
Well, a lot of bars have food.
A lot of bars have grills.
It doesn't have to be a bar with no food.
But you can have a bar without a grill, but fairly rare. And would a grill increase the value of the bar?
I think so.
Yeah, in terms of voting.
All that.
So if you're a bar
that's-
without a grill, you might be out of luck here in the KMOX, whatever we call this silly thing.
All we have to do is put it to a vote. The people
All right.
will
People
decide.
will speak. I do like the fact that the people speak, except when I run for office.
Well-
But I do appreciate the people speaking out there.
They looked at you and they said, "Nah,
Nah,
we're not gonna
that guy.
do all that."
I live in the only state in the country where John Hancock can't get elected. It's unbelievable.
Poor John.
It's ridiculous.
John Hancock is with me until 12 o'clock, and then it is the Gas House Gang, Bernie, Tom, and me. Don't forget, Billikens basketball is on the air tonight.
Dayton,
big
the Dayton
game.
Wild. What are they?
Flyers.
The Flyers of Dayton.
That's going to be a tough game
will be.
because
They're on the
Dayton
road.
has played pretty well lately.
Won 3 in a row.
And they got just obliterated when they were here in town.
We hung 100 points plus on them.
And you know that they are going to be ready.
Angry.
They are going to be ready to go. So
Angry. They're gonna
tough game tonight. 5:45 is our broadcast. Prior to that, on 11:20 a.m., we'll have Cardinal spring training baseball starting at 4:55.
What a cornucopia.
Yeah, a lot of cornucopias.
Yeah.
The NBA Finals, we're still a few months away from that, but have you ever wanted to go to them? Would be a lot of fun, and this is now your chance with FanDuel. All you have to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you will be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. So what's an NBA future? That means you are betting on who you think the conference champion is going to be or who you think the NBA champion is going to be. You're really predicting well down the road. So visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started if you have not signed up yet. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA and KMOX. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Limit one entry. For Profit Boost token, opt-in required. Must apply Profit Boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Race car drivers like NASCAR champion Jesse Love are a lot like commercial drivers, pros, but even the best watch the tape to see what they missed and get better next time. The Samsara driving coach does the same for your fleet, giving drivers real-time feedback to build safer habits. Samsara's AI uses billions of miles of real driving data to help fleets prevent accidents and protect drivers.
If it makes me a better driver, it'll make your fleet unstoppable.
Because even champions need a coach. Learn more at samsara.com.
Dreaming of college but worried about the cost? The Together Foundation is here to help. The Together Foundation is awarding 5 $1,500 scholarships to St. Louis area students who are ready to take the next step toward their future. Applying is simple, but time is limited, as applications will be accepted through March 31st. Learn more or apply at togethercu.org/scholarship. That's togethercu.org/scholarship. This community message has been brought to you by Together Credit Union.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. If it's cold outside, the team at Morelli Tuck Pointing is still busy. During colder months, Morelli can inspect any exposed brick inside your house. If your basement has a stone or black wall, Morelli can remove the worn-out mortar from that wall and replace it with new mortar. This tuck pointing work will reinforce your foundation, prevent water from entering your home, and thwart pests. This is a great time to get the inside of your garage inspected, and the same goes for your brick or stone fireplace. I've used Morelli Tuck Pointing to repair the chimneys, walkways, and walls of 2 homes here in St. Louis. The Morelli bids are fair, their crews are super polite, and they clean their job sites. Don't take my word for it. Check out the reviews on Google. Winner of the BBB Torch Award and the Next Door Neighbor Fave Award, 35 years in business, an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Is your furnace on its last legs? Don't wait for a cold night to find out. Jerry Kelly and KMOX are giving you the chance to win a brand new furnace this winter season. Just go online to KMOX.com/contest through March 1st and nominate someone who you think deserves a brand new furnace. Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. Win a brand new furnace. For more information and contest rules, just head to KMOX.com/contests.
Larry Older here. You know, one of the most rewarding parts of sharing Relief Factor with you is hearing real stories like that of Sandra. She tells us, I've been hearing about Relief Factor on the radio for a couple of years, and I finally decided to try it because nothing else was helping my back pain. I know the feeling. With a 3-week quick start, she said, I went for it. Now I feel like a new person. That's Sandra's own words, and it's so gratifying to hear. I've told you about my brother Kirk having difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning. He wouldn't listen to me. I told him to take Relief Factor. He finally did. Began moving better, feeling stronger. Too bad he didn't listen earlier. Try it for yourself. The 3-week quick start. And see how Relief Factor could be your game changer too. It is only $19.95. Think about it. Do the math. Less than $1 a day. So call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. All one word, relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
For residential and commercial heating repairs, service, maintenance, or installation, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. With over 50 years of HVAC service, get in your comfort zone this winter. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sometimes we get incredibly unhelpful text messages to 314-436-7900. We are asking for the best bar in St. Louis because that will be our tournament coming up here. Best bar in the St. Louis area. Yeah. So not just the city of St. Louis, the entire area. And we want your submissions to the text line at 314-436-7900 or on Twitter at ChrisAmyKMOX. This texter says, the bar is not very high on this contest. Yeah, we're not doing puns. Oh, yeah, we should mention this too.
Yes, we should. What?
Illinois side, Metro East bars are included.
They're in. You're out there in Edwardsville. You're out there in whatever else is out there.
We should do it this way. I thought
Granite
about
City. Why not?
Granite City?
Well, we got 314 Day coming up.
Yeah.
And we'll celebrate
Cahokia?
that, obviously.
Belleville?
Yeah. And we did a 618 tournament.
East St. Louis?
We should maybe think about that in June. But we'll have something different for that, I think. But we'll go ahead and include the Metro East in our tournament. Maybe a lot of submissions.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
You're gonna have
it's gonna be way more than 64.
Hundreds to go through, and I don't know how the selection committee is going to be able to wheedle down.
The committee
ridiculous list.
John, the committee is going to take into account how many submissions are repeated. Now, if somebody says, "Oh my gosh, you got to go to,"
and so if somebody's got 16 people say that, then that bar has to be in the tournament.
Yeah,
and is that how you go about ranking them 1 to 16?
Well, we'll see.
I think the committee should go visit each and every one of these bars throughout the week and call it a work trip and decide for ourselves.
And I'm sure the good people at Odyssey would be happy to reimburse you for that.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the committee will oblige and then they will go ahead and pay for our trips?
Yeah,
I bet not.
Probably not.
Well, we're not the FBI. They're not gonna send us to all these places and then pay for it. Oh, it's a work trip. Oh, is it?
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, maybe we'll do some remotes. Who knows?
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Now there you go.
That'd be fun.
Nothing like being in a bar between 9 o'clock and noon.
It's actually depends, John.
Yes.
On a Friday, you can start your weekend early if you want.
You can. You absolutely can.
You gotta be very careful.
I start my weekend early every Friday with the the three of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel like a real weekend when you come in here on a Friday? Because to us, it feels like it's
because we usually, unless I've got duty calling. We usually try and find a snooker table.
That's right.
After the show on Fridays. By the way, happened to play a few frames yesterday.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
Michael's shooting very well yesterday. He almost won. But there it was, the pink and the black to end the game. And I made a remarkable bank shot. The entire length of the table.
Yeah.
On the pink and then the black for the win. It was,
Did anybody else see it?
Michael did.
Just the two of you.
Well, the guy at the next table, I'm sure, saw it.
Yeah.
Michael thought it was junk. He thought it was a lucky shot. No, I played that shot. And it was a gutsy shot.
Do you not have to call out your shot ahead?
No, not in snooker.
Okay. But in billiards, you kind of have to, don't you?
Usually, only on like the 8-ball. If you're playing 8-ball, you really only have to call the 8-ball.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The American Rocket took down the Irish Assassin.
American Rocket did, in fact, take down the Irish Assassin yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
It was a glorious sight to behold.
I don't know. Can you really be an assassin if everybody sees you coming? There's not much you can do.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see him coming. He actually, in all seriousness, he shot pretty well yesterday.
A texter here says, I have to say the best bar in the St. Louis area is in my basement. Well, you have a good time down there, sir.
I'm not going there.
You're not going to your basement. Because if we end up in a basement, we may not get out of it.
Well, that's true. You just never know.
You cannot trust the basement of a stranger.
Well, yeah.
John Hancock, thanks for hanging out the last couple days.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
And we'll see you on Friday with Michael.
Yes, you will.
But we'll have a good time on
Friday.
Friday.
Following week, I'm off to Jupiter, Florida.
All right.
Oh, that's right. You got a little frat house going.
I do.
Hancock and Kelly with Glover.
Yeah.
Debaucherous.
Yeah, you're staying in the same house, right?
Pretty much.
Same bed, too, I heard.
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, you could sleep 3 wide. No big deal.
We only overlap one night. And then I'm gone, and they hang out.
Well, thanks, pal. It's good to see you. We'll see you Friday
Always
again.
a pleasure, Ron.
That's John Hancock. If you missed anything, it's going to be on the Odyssey app for you. Just download it, or iHeart app, or wherever you get your podcast, KMOX.com as well. We will be back tomorrow with Amy. Amy Marks Kors returns tomorrow with me, Chris Ranji. But next, it is the Gas House Gang with Bernie Miklasz, Tom Ackerman, and me on KMOX.